they have the indication that Copenhagen Flames might not buy in this second round. No MAC-10s.
Slow walks in an issue from the SKADE side, establishing their lane control. A little bit out towards the back lines, over towards that main entrance over at elbow. Very carefully placed here from SKADE, backed up against the back walls. Waiting for Copenhagen Flames to make the mistake here. They have got that B stack in, so the lean towards B is the best thing that the CT's going to hope for. With a quick shot towards Hooks, he indicates the A player's on the table. He's the only player there.
And not running into the stack is an in-game leader's paradise in a round like this. Whether you're up against eco pistols or not, you don't want to be running into a mass number down there over towards a B site. So for Hooksy, the best that he can do is hope for damage. That's not going to happen at all. Even rotating CTs over might not be the best factor because they don't know if there's a MAC-10 in play.
Yeah, plant goes down, nothing much that they can do to try and deny it. He's already pressed far forward, spraying through those smokes, doing the damage towards Roy, removing him from play now to 3 players remaining for Copenhagen Flames. They'll start to fall away here, SKADE. Let's grab that bomb plant. Grab this round, nothing that Copenhagen Flames can do.
Yeah, easy picks coming through from the majority of those Galils. And just giving themselves the confidence to farm up those eco pistols. No one's really taking a massive amount of damage, so no one's going to fall. Bubble ends up with a double in the round. SKADE get a 2-0 start, and now this is where the rifles can come in. We probably won't see an AWP just yet, so get those M4s out. Might even go down to a FAMAS on some of the individuals if they want to get the kit and some of the extra util forward. They opt against it, though. So now you kind of look at the setup and think it's probably going to be slightly more aggressive without that kit in play, unless Ifon at least buys one for the city side.
And the cool bet odds have SKADE as map 1 winners. 1-2 on the odds count, so not that much in terms of the favoritism, but it's definitely there. Molotov set to defend against the T-side line, taking lane control, not allowing any sort of play up towards that ramp position. Of course, the guns are out for Copenhagen Flames. Limited utility sets, those 2 Molotovs already being used early in the round. Can't do much more than here. So the smoke's suppressed and aggression from Hooksy.
Now, being able to gain this mid presence won't be able to hold it for too long, just with the lack of utility they have. Seems like SKADE want to retake some of this lane control just with a pop flash out the doors, make it uneasy for Roy. And this is something we saw in the Dig game, was just how impactful he can be, aggressive into lane around Cheetah.
Flash forward, he'll put the smoke down for Roy's part here at Cheetah. Nades on, damage will be done by the HEs to return from the T-side line. 100 HP for all players on T-side. Same cannot be said for Copenhagen Flames. Again, Roy tagged by the HEs, Ifon tagged earlier in the round. And the rotates from SKADE will cut their way out of the B lane position, start to play towards the A side. And again, no one's defending main here for the Flames.
Yeah, Roy's got to be the one to keep an eye on here for the Flames, especially on the city side. 15 kills and 4 deaths, 142 ADR against Dignitas in that last game in the quarterfinals. Might not be finding any impact going into the 3rd round. You're right about this reassurance over towards the A site. Hooksy's here on rotation, but Roy's dealt with on the lurk.
They might think about rotation because of it, but no, they press him with a split play. Ifon with 3 to deal with, gets Bubble first and foremost, turning himself away towards Rainwaker's position. Lines up a decent kill on Dreamer, but doesn't quite capitalize upon it. So much damage being done. Nico auto straight to the backside, and it's a 3 versus 2. Blind fire from Hooksy, trying to deny that bomb's position, and does get a dink off on Dennyslaw, but not able to get the kill for it. So again, man advantage for SKADE here on the post plant.
Oh, ship's overextending just slightly. That could have been a save call coming through for Copenhagen Flames. Dreamer's there for the trade, and now Hooksy's either got to go for it or back off.
The HP works for him, though. 100 versus 52 and 13. But that 1 versus 2 scenario still. Trades available for SKADE. He's got to get Dreamer first and foremost. He's the low HP player with the best weapon. Nicolil with Denny, seen, quick swing, quick kill. Last man is known here. Hooksy with no kit, though. Got to force him out effective and efficiently. Dreamer ready to swing out of the gap. And Hooksy has no idea where he's going towards. Dreamer's patient play has called his bluff. And that's going to be enough to win the round.
All right, can we add another tally of a Dreamer clutch or a 2vx or 1vx, whatever it may be? We saw it yesterday. We're seeing it again here. Beautiful trading, though, coming through from SKADE. Just look at the way they come out of that A main position and from Donut successfully, right? Every single pick that's coming through, it's a 4v3. It's a 3v2, whatever it may be, backing each other up incredibly well. And then even in the post plant, Dreamer just not over-peaking, just making sure he's holding his calm.
And this is what we were talking about with SKADE in terms of potential in this map up. Yes, it is one of the best maps for Copenhagen Flames last year. You also look at what SKADE are doing here on the T side so early on. 3-0 start, yes, with Ecos involved, one of which is coming in now with the Egos out. And Hooksy with the opening kill, and that's the rifle already dropped on the part of Dreamer. So 4 versus 4, and all the firepower's been removed for the Flames.
Yeah, funny enough, Dreamer was the highest rated player for Fiend on Ancient, and since joining SKADE, he's now the highest rated player on Ancient for SKADE, so it doesn't really matter what team he's a part of, he's going to find impact on this map. We know that he's been proficient in the past on the CT side for double AWPing, but on T side too, when he's got that AK in his hands, he's going to find impact.
And a good kill for Dreamer to follow suit on a second. Chips up against Nico. Not quite expecting that Deagle to be around the totem. Leaning in left and right, trying to look for Dreamer next up, who's on for his triple. Nico Odos has other plans. Headshots gained by this hand cannon. Another player being seen in the back of short. Denny's seen that player, but unable to get the shot towards it. That kill for Nico Odos on Dreamer, by the way, just dropped the bomb in the center of the site.
Yeah, this is awkward. Time is still on their side, though. 50 seconds left. They've got some util. They could try and bait out another mistake. Copenhagen Flames aren't really fighting into the bomb site. They're playing it defensive.
Rainmaker being slow about this, trying to spot Nico Odos. Did a tiny amount of damage with that wallbang attempt. AK in the hands of the man now. Molotovs to try and drive him even further away, but Ziffon has an angle, and Rainwaker's tagged to 14 because of it. Yabi finally falls. AWP now spotted. They have info on both T-side elements. But which one's going to get involved here? 20 seconds. And he still wraps that corner, sees Nico Odos finally. Dropped him Ziffon there with a trade, but can't hold on to the 2K. It's Rainwaker with 2 instead. An expensive round for SKADE, though.
Yeah, I would even say X Factor really coming in that round number 2v3, because that looked very unplausible that they were going to win it. When you think about the low HP, the position they get themselves in, the way the Copenhagen Flames aren't even fighting, this round's pretty much over. The only way it really happens is obviously the information that there's someone out towards Wood, Rainwaker winning it on low HP, and this is now a couple of clutch situations in a row where SKADE go, our money's not very good. It's actually pretty crap because we're not keeping players alive. So we've got a 4-0 start. Let's take the tactical. Let's win this next gun round out with more players alive.
Yeah, lost 4 players in the last round, 5 in the round before it. Early stage of the game, the economy can still be counterbalanced here by the Copenhagen Flames. Of course, they have the guns out, so they can afford to reset them here on the SKADE side. Vice versa applies though, but the loss bonus is there for the Danish squad, so they have a little bit extra to fall back on SKADE's side. Pretty important to win this particular round. See what they bring out here. Should be the main weapons. Might see a couple limitations in terms of utility. I don't think a major amount though. There's just a couple of players taking 2 sets rather than 4 sets, so just be about it. The only limiting factor really is ships. AWP in for Denny. I look towards Pit initially in the mid-controls. SKADE will be pressing forward elsewhere on the map. And it's Yabi to shut down Chips to start.
There's so many mollies down there towards that lane position. Chips finds himself in a situation where he wants to gain map control. So rather than just falling back and offering up lane, he just keeps aggressing forward, engages onto that fight towards ramp, loses it out, and his teammates are still stuck behind the door. Now they've got more emphasis on slow walking and taking map control away on A.
Flo walks in, but Denny checking out the back of Temple. Rainwaker ahead of the game will try lean into the site itself. Got one man to deal with it. Ziffon sees that headshot burst through, spray through from Ziffon. The return, a lot more damage here. Molotov should drive him out of position. The AWP will get boosted, or will the AK get boosted? They're waiting for a flashbang instead, but that's allowed Ziffon to escape from the site and escape the kill. So now SKADE can start to storm, but still so much CT presence around the site itself. And Nico Odos' AWP will win the AWP v AWP battle. Now Yabi ready to strike, sees Rainwaker, who goes back for that AWP, but with the presence of the CT side, they force SKADE deeper into main.
You can see what SKADE are trying to do there. They get that molly towards back default to force Ziffon out into the open. And if they get that pick, it's a very different situation. It's a 4v4. Maybe Copenhagen Flames don't rotate as many players over. But knowing they had the emphasis of even boosting the AWP up, the pick does not get found. 30 seconds left. You might just save here. 3v5, no map control, lack of really any advantage. And even look at the HP numbers.
Yeah, they'll opt to save the weapons. You mentioned how the economy was not in a great state for SKADE, losing so many players in the last couple of rounds. They'll keep the 2 AKs. They'll keep the AWP for Rainwaker in particular. That'll be a little bit of an extra bonus for the next one. They won't get any cash out of this round, those 3 players. And with a single round of loss bonus ticking over, it might be a bit of a harsh buyback into round 6.
They'll be okay. I mean, Denny can obviously get that AWP over. He could drop a Galil to Rainwaker, and Ships can get a Galil too. So it's not going to be the most ideal of conditions, but when we still look at the buy, it's going to be rifles out for everybody.
Absolutely. Definitely got those automatic potentials. Compare that to what they got on the CT side with no downgrade rifles. 2 AKs, in fact, for Roy and Yabi. A lot more firepower to contend with here on the SKADE side. The first round has gone the way of Copenhagen Flames. Bit of a rocky start for them, but now they're in control. And if they reset the economy here, they could gain even more.
This is the chance now where we look at it from the Flames' perspective and say, if there's any way you want to gather momentum, it's this round. Round 6, where you can start getting the economy in your favor, you can start getting a streak of rounds. Ziffon's very aggressive on A. You compare that to the last round, he was so passive.
We'll start to fall back in the end. Smoke definitely going to assist that as neither side can see each other here. Bubble meanwhile with a lurk on the bomb on his back. Okay, hang on. If he gets caught off here in lane, that might start to prove a little bit awkward. It depends on how aggressive he goes with it. I'm not sure if this is just like a utility lurk or a general lurk. But either way, it could be exploitable by the Flames. The majority of players out here towards main. And yeah, it's just a flashbang over, trying to draw attention away.
Even that flash doesn't quite go out of the doors, so missed lineup there for SKADE, and that doesn't pull much attention over. And knowing that Roy's jiggle peeking in lane, they've already got the idea that there's nothing coming out to B.
Smoke's coming down here for the T side now. Hooksy will get back-to-back boxes. Got Ziffon on the forward face again behind the central box. Molotov's to his position, not going to extend out that far. Flashbang turned away from. They think it's clear. They might hard check it. Dreamer gets caught anyway. Ziffon, all-important pick. Swings out against Ships, makes it a double. Not quite a triple. That's where Hooksy comes in though. Oh, flick to the double kill of his own right. And the AWP Denny knows he's out of the round. Copenhagen Flames locking down the A site and locking in their second.
That's a very good hold coming through from Ziffon. When you've got 2 mollies that close range and you're not getting exposed out into the open, he just makes sure that he's not getting pressured in that angle. He's able to strafe left, strafe right, find a double kill, get that sort of sight control, even allow Hooksy to get set up from the default position. And by that time, CTs are already on rotate. So Ziffon did his job. Even if Hooksy only gets 1, the round's probably still going to be going the way of the Flames, just with how quick those rotations are there towards the spawn area. Dreamer on that boost up just was not able to get all of the vision possible. Ziffon, this has got to be a guy we keep an eye out for, especially if these AXEs keep coming for SKADE.
Hooksy deserves a little bit of luck, a little bit of love there in the back lines. Of course, when Ziffon was traded, he got 2 of his own, and that really was the deal breaker essentially for SKADE. That orb saved in by Denny alongside Glocks into round 7. This is what I was talking about with the economical break. Not a lot of loss bonus for them. The best they can do is just Glock around this AWP, get the guns out for the next round, maybe save that AWP into the next round as well. The outlook does not look to be good for the SKADE side in this round.
No, and even going forward, it might be lopsided, just knowing everybody else is kind of went down, but then Denny's on a hero war. How much are you really going to get out of this? Even in the next round, what's going to happen? Does he just go onto a scout? Does he go onto a deagle? Because money's not going to be proficient. How much impact can they get? They'd love an opening kill towards A.
Gonna catch off their main man Ziffon. Then he's gonna get boosted. He could catch Nico Odos instead, seeing the information instead. And Ziffon takes the swing on a hit. Flashes go over. Bubble will recover that AWP and Nade back to his position. Should do some more damage. In fact, it will get the kill for it. Landed perfectly onto the man. Incendiary is held. Now Dreamer's on the mantle of the AWP. Hoping to catch Ziffon still. But just look at the damage that's been done to Copenhagen Flames. There's none of it. 100 HP for all 5 players still alive in server in this round. Finally, a trade does come through for Dreamer here against Ziffon out towards main. Or look for Nico Odos again. The AWP will be spotted. But back behind the boxes, he'll join a second teammate.
It's all about getting the jump onto Nico Odos. The AWP thinking about a bait, getting his teammate out forward. Dreamer with the AWP, and they know where Nico Odos is. This is winnable.
One more good shot can make the difference. In fact, it's the Glock of Rainmaker that turns it around, but Roy holds control with a double. And nade onto Dreamer that should do some damage. Not quite get the full-on frags, a little bit off-site here. And the bomb plant could be secured. Yabby's chance to strike. He's going to be a little bit late to the party. So they do get a bomb plant out of this round. The AWP could still find the clutch here. Depends on how accurate Dreamer's shooting is. He's already got 2 kills, make it a 3rd as Roy peeks right in, thinking he might have been scoped the wrong direction. But now it's a serious chance for this clutcher, 1-on-1. And 1 bullet makes the difference. Yabby reveals his angle, taps that bomb, trying to go for a peek. No utility to utilize here. And he will get the shot back for the round itself for Copenhagen Flames. A 3rd to their board, but SKADE with no investment made it seriously expensive again.
That is a monumental effort. Seriously, 1 AWP and 4 Glocks. You're able to get a bomb plant and almost the entire round itself. So many CTs falling there. And you can just see it shaping up. As soon as Dreamer is able to catch off the donut player, and they know that Nico Odos is in default, you think to yourself, this is winnable. They exploit that single gap and put pressure on the pistols. Even Rainwaker got into the mix with a Glock kill in that entire atmosphere. And even this, it's pretty well played from Dreamer. Not really overfacing, but just not connecting onto the last shot. A good round by SKADE. Copenhagen Flames, they'll be disappointed with themselves.
Yeah, you highlighted Dreamer earlier on in this map up for good reason, and that sort of reason is proven right there with that AWP play. Almost 4 kills. Not to be, again, just a little bit of accuracy plaguing his part. Now towards Cheetah. Yep, flash forward for Roy will allow the kill against the man. Now look towards this elbow position, seeing where Ships is, tagging him down to 74. Not quite getting the kill for it. Molotovs instead, spray back, and Hooksy comes up good in towards mid control instead. So Bubble and Ships removed from the top mid angle, 2 versus 5. Copenhagen Flames back in with confidence.
Yeah, they're struggling to deal with Roy, and we're seeing a lot of these defaults not entangling that lane control, putting pressure down onto that cheetah position, and with the flash over the top, it was just pinned to perfection. Dreamer can't see a thing. Hooksy then with the swing out contact in mid is able to kind of catch the players in elbow and just entering mid, looking up to window, but then also need to be focusing back on Donut and from Candles. A shutdown round for Copenhagen Flames and a perfect response from what we saw from them previously.
Yeah, 1v5 for Rainwaker, just so contrary to what we saw in the previous. And in this round, actually, all 5 players will maintain their lives. AKs to be gained, and all 3 of them in play for the Flames. 4 all to the board as SKADE have had their day, it feels like, and immediately the CT side just chime right back in. Is there going to be a buy in the next round here? I don't think the economy really justified it for SKADE.
SKADE have got to put more emphasis over towards lane and B. We're seeing way too much action in mid and A, and they're not sort of capitalizing on dealing with further map control. Copenhagen Flames are reading the game very well. They keep jiggling with Roy out to Cheetah. He's seeing that there's nothing going over to B. SKADE may be reliant on their clutch situations too often in a game like this, and especially on T side, you've got to be having some more convincing rounds. Otherwise, the deficit's just going to run away from you.
Deficit equalized by Copenhagen Flames will start to take the lead here. Into a surplus for the CT side. SKADE with a half by Deagle's brought down. Not quite as effective as a full investment. They didn't have the money for it, so this is what they have to do with. Ziffon will open things up out towards the main entrance. Of course, Roy is here in Cheetah, finding damage to Dreamer. Keeping the team side players on notice. Nico Odos takes a dink, but also takes a frag.
And from this point onwards, Copenhagen Flames don't really need to get too overly aggressive. Roy's got a teammate in from Hooksy, so they compete together. Just make sure they're not offering up individual fights. Roy ends up with a triple. Hooksy's there with the assistance, 5 on the board. And for SKADE's point of view, I think anything more than 6 rounds on T-side, 6 or more, is probably the targeting goal in this first half.
And we're 2 away from getting it. Copenhagen Flames, of course, 1 away from that. Talk about the T side, of course, or the CT side rather, is the dominant half in this one, and SKADE, they can just make a good, decent first half. That could be enough here. Again, decent map for both squads. How much has Copenhagen Flames done on their T side half? We've seen a lot more teams try and put more emphasis on the attacking sides of things, and that might be the key to winning out Ancient in terms of consistency. Early nades down from the Flames, though. They're just maintaining their control. They don't get the man advantage, though. Yabby gets caught off. Roy will make aggressive plays above the smoke, try and catch off Ships. See him drop down. 2 more to find. The smoke will start to clear and doesn't quite get Dreamer. 4v3.
So many positives with the util usage here for Copenhagen Flames, but look at the trading game. Bubble's been able, or Dreamer's been able to get a couple of kills. He's still got teammates with him. Off Bubble to peek forward into lane. Unfortunately, this time, they don't get the 1-for-1. And for Hooksy, he's still alive.
Well, Danny chimes into a 2 versus 2, almost connects that second shot as well. And now Ziffon can try and strike back from ramp, and now they have bomb control. Rainwaker was trying to buy some breathing room here on the A site, but with his teammate falling, there's no way he can go back for the bomb without challenging the CTs directly here. And they'll press forward. Have they discovered the bomb? Actually, they might still think it's an A site. This could be Rainwaker's chance here. It depends on the corner angle. Hooksy caught. Ziffon also around the corner. Knife pulled out, and Side tried to dodge it here in the top mid position, but couldn't quite hold it down in Candle. Ziffon there with a trade, and there with a 6th round for the Flames.
Yeah, they must have not been able to see that bomb in the back left corner, just rotate away straight away, because they kind of imagine Rainwaker's going to be the lurk. He's probably bringing that bomb over towards the A side. And there for Copenhagen Flames, they got tested. It came down to really Hooksy making a monster play. A couple of kills from him was pretty much what all sealed the round and made it all entirely possible. Now that AWP from Denny just not quite being able to escape. Copenhagen Flames with a lot of aggressive maneuvers around here at the B side.
It's working out semi-consistently as well. I mean, obviously, they just took an aggressive play to get that last round together, and again, remove all rifles from SKADE. Lost a number of AKs in that exchange, of course, with 4 players going down. So the 5 Halber being removed from the Flames side, but they've still got the rifles across the entire board. The M4s on 3 individuals in particular. Roy being the first man out. They do lose Yabi off the back of his opening kill for Ships. Roy makes it a double as Bubble comes in with a flank. Bomb again dropped on the center of the B site, though there should be info gain for the CT forces. The last 2 players of SKADE will grab a rifle. But now got to deal with 2 players in the backline with a flank inbound from Hooksy here.
And need another flash out towards that long side, try and get Rainwaker for some space. Make it very difficult for the CTs and for Nico Odos. He's getting tagged up.
Well, Ziffon comes up with those 2 trades to return, though, so it doesn't matter too much for Nico Odos. Didn't quite get an AWP pick in this one, but it's fine. 3 alive for Copenhagen Flames, 7 up to the CT board.
Yeah, you can just kind of see with SKADE where some of the improvements need to be made with the map control on the T side. It's looking slightly fidgety, and they're not getting the core fundamentals down, just with the util placement and dealing with the overpeaks on the eco, not being able to get the bomb plant. It's not the biggest concern in the world, but it would have been nice to have that extra cash. What can they strike? Maybe a quick BXE, something faster over to B might be the option.
Plausible. The split play comes in instead. 2-1-2 on the T side setup, eventually making it 3 players over on that B lean. But just a lean. They haven't even taken lane control here, SKADE.
No, but they're not usually. That's what we've always seen from them. They play outside of the doors and they try and retake lane. They just either need to have different players in different positions or some further util. Another re-smoke off, and this is just easy sailings for Roy, just gathering that information. Hooksy being pressed forward, and Copenhagen Flames with the aggressive control of lane and mid just aren't even being pressured.
A shot will start to come through towards main for Rainwaker, hoping he can try and play towards the A side with the execution smokes. The bomb is out there, so it's going to try and look towards lane and look towards A initially, but the lane control starts being taken here by SKADE. Smokes and flashes going over. Yabi gets caught by it. Molotov's down. The bubble will tap forward. The AWP gets baited by a quick shoulder bait. The flick's not connected for Nico Odos. 1-for-1 trades. Beam back on that B bomb site. They've got 2 players that are in B, but a bomb making its way towards A with the majority of CT presence still pulled here towards the B site. The bomb plant will be denied by Nico Odos, and that should be enough to force rotations back. 1 player left on the site as Ships chimes in towards Yabi, and the AWP is still looking for his kill shots. Nico Odos coming up clutch when they need it most. A 2v2, and the rotations come back half escape, but look at the time.
Oh, they're so low. They need to get these kills in quickly. Ships is going to have to be the impact man. Get this pick in from Donut, put some pressure onto Nico Odos, down to 15 seconds.
Oh, and Hooksy's going to bait him in. Ships not even going to check the corner. Nico Odos makes it a triple, and Hooksy closes it down. Nico Odos, the hero of the round for Copenhagen Flames.
That actually looked like a god call. When you think about the rotates there, we saw a double pump A, fake B back to A. So they have that first wave of util that comes through to indicate the A play. Then they send 3 players out of lane into ramp to commit towards a BXE, and then have Rainwaker as that walkout, the individual player to start opening up the bomb site, seeing the over rotations. And when you think about the CTs, the majority of players are there on B. The only defender is Nico Odos, and they just can't deal with him. They're not able to get that trade together. If they do get that trade and they get that bomb down, that is a completely different round. What a sequence coming through from the Orpa and Temple. Nico Odos, take a bow.
Let's talk about sequences in the round itself. Take a look at the sequence of rounds in this matchup. 8 in a row for Copenhagen Flames. SKADE, pistol conversion, 1 rifle picked up, and ever since then it's been all Copenhagen Flames. AKs and a Deagle pulled out here for round 13, and the Bulgarian side are really struggling now. It looked so promising at the start. They'll try and fast rush it in. Here we go. Rush A. Bubble, first man out of the gate. Smokes will go down to cover off the CT entryways. They might secure the bomb plant for this, and indeed Nico Odos will be first to fall.
Oh, they just send it so much quicker here for SKADE. Another re-smoke to Donut. And for Copenhagen Flames, they're struggling to find any impact, and there's still a lurking elbow.
Continuous burst and spray through. The smokes will start to clear now. Yabi re-looking to the back lines of the site, but can't see anything. Flashes in from his teammates. Will try and start to take control. Several players held back here. This platform set up from Denny, Dreamer, and Ships. With 1 player also up in tempo on the back. That also inbound from Rainwaker. They got all their bases covered. As Yabi falls, Rainwaker will be spotted. Attention drawn away from the site itself, as Denny can double up, make it a triple overall. Finally, Roy with a trade. Hooksy with 1 more. Roy makes it a 2 versus 2 and needs a bit more out of this, but with low HP, it's not going to happen. SKADE finally break the streak and get their 5th.
Oh, but that was the change-up, right? That we haven't quite seen is we've had some faster plays and the splits into A's, but not the rush. That was just a full send, full acceleration into the bomb side. But notice they don't take 5 players with them. They leave that super late lurk from Rainwaker in elbow to try and cut any of the rotates off from lane and slowly get in for Donut. While he's maybe not finding a massive amount of impact with the Deagle, think about the time wasting. Hooksy's focusing all of his attention on the backstab rather than actually players in the bomb side.
At least he saves the AK for this next round. Of course, SKADE putting distraction in that round. Fast rush in, going back to the slow style of default. Heavy towards the B site with only 1 player up in lane. We're joined by his teammates soon. Gap in that smoke that Roy could try and exploit. He's not going to swing, though. He knows that if he goes for that aggressive play and there's a T-side player lurking and watching the angle, he might end up falling. Bubble might give the reverse to the CT side, but Roy starts to back off as Ship starts to enter the site. Nikora's opening kill. Not quite a second. Dreamer makes it a double, and Roy out towards Cave gets traded the same.
Ah, jeez, that was another sharp take coming through from SKADE. Just individually speaking, rolling over, just using light util, allowing Dreamer to get a double entry, and then even Denny with the rifle. His AKing ability's been pretty impressive in this first half.
Brilliant stuff in general. Safe call called in by Copenhagen Flames. Beaten into submission off the back of that B-side hit. SKADE a little bit slower, but when the rush came in, it came down hard, and the Flames just weren't ready for it. And that's that all-important 6. You mentioned how the SKADE side really wanted to aim towards that here on T-side line, and they've got it. They get that 7th, though. That could be a massive bonus.
It really could be. And, of course, it doesn't really matter how the rounds are won out. It matters what the scoreline is at the turn of the half. And this is looking promising for SKADE now. Have a little bit of a hunt, try and drop those further rifles. Might not be able to get that AK to fall. Oh, they actually do. That's a great kill for Bubble right at the end of the round.
Now removed from the action and all sorts removed for the last round of the half. At least they have the money here for Copenhagen Flames. Roy getting that AWP out to Nico Odos here. And on 9 frags deep for him. At least Roy's having a pretty good game here. 13 on the board, top fragger of his team. Not quite top fragger of the server, though. That one goes to Dreamer. The M4 in his hand to try and dish out some damage here for the Flames.
Yeah, just see that stat line about opening kills for someone like Ships. Watch out in the second half and how he can really adapt his playstyle to find some further advantages in those 5v4s. SKADE out towards lane control. Notice how these last few rounds, Copenhagen Flames aren't aggressing lane. They aren't taking ramp control. They've changed their setup on B.
Yeah, backed up passive this time. Try and bolster their defensive, expecting SKADE to go fast once again. And they will do so. Ships flashed in, going to check site, engagement from 1 player back towards Shaw. Will do some damage as Yabi gets the kill. Ships going to burn the Molotov and maintain his life at 15 HP. Swing out from Yabi, blinded by a flash. Denny comes up good to a 4 versus 4. Rainwaker looking for Roy next up, but indeed he trades it back to the man advantage of SKADE.
Get a smoke down, just slow those rotations. Rainwaker, he's got a teammate with him, he loses Bubble. Ziffot actually makes it a couple, but look at how many players there are up here in the long position. Now it's down to Ships at ramp.
15 HP, tagged up so early, yet to get a frag here in this round. 4 kills in general on this matchup. 6 can make the difference, but no, he doesn't react to Hooksy. Didn't see him at that slight gap in the smoke, and Copenhagen Flames will make it 9-6 to close out their CT half of Ancients.
I think it was a very unorthodox T-side for what SKADE actually brought to the table. It was very dry on those executions. We didn't have the mass smokes and the mass mollies like we've seen from them previously. Instead, it was just a lot of flashes high, trying to get the individual set up. And yeah, you could maybe say there were a couple of rounds like that one in mine in round 12 where they got unlucky. As a whole, 6 rounds T-side, if you get off to a good start in the second, definitely recoverable.
We're in the second half for Copenhagen Flames. Only 3 rounds separate the 2 squads. And they're going to be looking at some of those star players to dish out the damage. Roy is now tied up by Ziffon in terms of the frag counts, and Hooks is even getting involved. And considering how much we're talking about Roy on the desk there, and considering how much we're looking at him to be one of those main elements, it's good to see that Copenhagen Flames have other players to step up to the table here as we head to the pistol round. It might be a fast play into the B sites.
Yeah, everyone coming out towards this ramp position. Couple on the B side. Dreamer's going to spot it out immediately.
Babylon's on the other side will dish out some damage, but it's the kill that goes the way of the Flames. Roy, through smoke, catching Dreamer, maintains the advantage, draws first blood on the T-side half. Bomb goes down, retake on for SKADE.
Oh, is it though? The bomb actually gets dropped. There's no kill. U2, it's just armor for SKADE.
Flash forward for Roy, gets caught off by Ships regardless. Playing anti-flash, bailing out his teammate Yabi. Comes up to a 3 versus 3. Again, who's going to get tagged? Ships denies that bomb plant again, and Rainwaker comes in from Cave. And SKADE hold their fruition, hold their tenacity, and hold the pistol round.
Well, I don't think Copenhagen Flames are laughing at the fact that they try to get the bomb down twice, and both examples of it just got dropped immediately. That could be the issue sometimes with Ancient, is that once those smoke starts to dissipate, if you don't get the bomb down immediately, good luck to you, because you're going to struggle. You need to just keep taking aim fights and try and get man advantages to provide that security of getting the bomb down. And for SKADE's point of view, 2 for 2 in pistols. Think about the start they got off to in the first half.
Flames down to the hard eco once again, looking for the round 18 bye. I did on the round 3 bye in the previous half. Guns can come through for them with the bomb plant bonus as well that they could also pick up. So there's a lot of potential for them in this one. But obviously, SKADE are looking to get to 8 here.
Yeah, Denny wants the AWP. Check out what he's bought here going into round 17. Just armor, nothing else.
USP set for the man, Rainwaker, hearing footsteps over towards main, drawing attention back. Copenhagen Flames draw their attention away, start to rotate slowly away from main.
They're trying to see if they can get Roy in a position where one of Dreamer or Bubble aggress through the doors. Because really, at that sort of range, you might actually be able to get a pick with a Glock when it's super up close and try and draw some of this utility, which there isn't any of. So from this point onwards, hope that you don't get mowed, hope that there's not an MP9 or any SMG out for the CT side, and luckily enough for the Danes, there isn't.
There's a phone on Hooksy to form up the execution towards the A side, the rush with a dry face, whatever you want to call it. The play in, the bomb out on their backs. Rainwaker faced upon by 2 or 3, gets all 3, 4 kills in fact. Not even much damage being done to the CT side. Good effort from Copenhagen Flames, but again it was pistols v rifles, and the rifles trumped them all. Now come the guns for the Ts.
It's very difficult to kind of get a scope on what Copenhagen Flames' T-side is, because in the last 3 months, it's less than 43%. But they've only played the map 4 times. The sample size is so small that with a 50% win rate, there's not much to draw with, where at least for SKADE, 9 wins and 3 losses in the last 3 months, they've been playing a lot of Ancient.
Yeah, I mean, the Deaths were so shocked to see them pick into it, but now seeing what we're seeing here on the CT half, start to understand why. Rainwaker through the smoke, catches Yabby already. Outside of candles, up towards top mid. Zifon will get Bubble to return as he reveals his position with a wallbang attempt. Got a tag off, but no frag. 4 versus 4.
At least finding impact over towards that B side. They do lose the FAMAS, which means now Ships is going to have to try and stay alive, because the 2 rotates from A are going to take a little while. And for Copenhagen Flames, they're actually not committing straight away towards the BXE.
Zifon with the smokes going down. Nico Otto's just spotted. Roy also take the 3 points of health, and Ships blind against both, gets both the kills. Zifon in the 1 versus 3 now knows where Denny's coming in from. Without AWP strikes to a second kill with the interim one over on the A side, and SKADE dominate their way to 9 apiece.
Yeah, that whole round just comes down to Ships spamming through the long smoke, right? 2 kills through the smoke when you can't see anything. A little bit of luck on the side, hearing the footsteps that the players are trying to come out from ramp. And for Copenhagen Flames, no bomb plan. Even with the loss bonus, you're not going to get another buy. You're going to have to eco there.
Yeah, Deagle's out now for the Flames. Not a lot in the way of utility. A couple of bits of Kevlar here and there. 1 helmet for Roy. 2 AKs meanwhile for SKADE. So much firepower carried forward into the next round of the round after this. Copenhagen Flames, not the best of starts in this first half. I mean, it's characteristic though. SKADE got 4 on the trot in the previous. Is that going to be the same here for the second half?
Dreamer still very aggressive with the bait and switch for Bubble to take that first contact from the cheater angle, apply all of the T-side players to look up there and then swing from ramp. Even another respoke means that Copenhagen Flames are going to be stalled at the doors for at least a little bit longer.
Or a slight time. CT is trying to take that Copenhagen Flames aggression back to their own side, and they might even get good for it. Oh, Denny caught off by the Deagle. Try and put the nade back down towards Zifon's position and try and force it back into elbow to flashbangs. Allow his teammate to peek as Dreamer and Bubble lock down the control. 2 for Dreamer. Does run out of ammo against Nikomoto, so that's 1 good trade, but no further than that. Bubble with a triple. And another round here for the SKADE side. 10-2 the lead now. Rifles in for Copenhagen Flames. They have 1 chance to stop this momentum. It's here and now.
I think we need to get a little bit more out of Nico Erdos as well. 1.18 average rating when it comes to Ancient in the last 3 months. Normally a good performer. It's getting a little bit difficult on T side, especially when the money's not flowing massively for you to get some AWPing ability to come out. But yeah, trying to get a little bit more out of him and maybe more of an emphasis towards the A side. We haven't seen many A side takes.
Flashes in as Yabi tried to lean up towards that mid-control. Rainwaker and Ships backed up. Gaps in the smokes. Yabi going to walk right past Rainwaker, perhaps. This could work better for both sides. Depends on the timing and who comes up seeing who first, but no. Yabi starts to walk away from mid as his teammates take the A site. Ships putting the smokes down, trying to get some presence on the site itself. Might push ahead a bit, though. Flashes forward, he gets caught by it. Roy with the kill to open up the round. The bomb will go down.
Oh, this looks very promising. Dreamer's able to get a couple of kills, and now it comes back to the 3v3. They don't know about the late lurk still in mid.
Nades up towards Temple, Rainwaker back turn towards Yabi, still on the backstab and turns on for that headshot, shooting him in the side. Now to 2 now for SKADE. And Dream will put the smokes down towards this donut position. Incendiary's on towards main. The AWP tags his own teammate. Dreamer now pressing on, tanking a nade back in his own right to a 2 versus 2. Hooksy spotted with the bullets missed out on the M4. He gets out of dodge just in time. Face round the corner, caught out by the USP. And now the 10-second defuse stick with the 8K up against the AWP. With too little time to the clock, then he can just get the exit frag as Copenhagen Flames will get the round instead.
Mate, how is Denny got like 6 grand and he doesn't have a kit there? There's been so many situations that we saw yesterday and what we saw in the previous quarterfinals where it's come down to 1v1s. They've got the kill, but the time's just not there. And in that round, there was so much extra cash and Denny doesn't have a kit. That costs him.
Tactical taken for Copenhagen Flames because while they have their first round and a half, they need a lot more. Not only that, they need some confident rounds as well. They lost every single player in terms of that site hole. The only reason they got away with it was because of the lack of kits on the SKADE side. The cool bet odds have them as even heavier favorites for the Bulgarians, 3.5 to 1.29. Guns will come back in for both teams. Of course, heavy investments around the AWP for the CTs. All sorts of weapons brought back by the Copenhagen Flames. What do they need to do here? What do they need to insert that confidence on the Flames side?
For them, just being able to get opening man advantages and putting some more pressure down on gaining map control earlier into the round is going to have to be that ideal, and really fighting for mid on a consistent basis.
Smokes up initially, sprays through Zifon and Yabi caught tagged. Nades coming in towards that top mid position might catch Yabi even worse, but no, he escapes it. Pushing up all the way towards Candles, receiving the bullets from Ships. The sail right past him. They know he's rotated away. They might not be aware of the aggression coming in. Caught with U2 in hand, but somehow gets away with his lifeline. 50 HP tagged down. The AWP now trying to bail him out. And all sorts of U2 thrown again by the T side line. They won't be able to get the kill for it. They might be forced to back away.
That's a missed opportunity there to capitalize on Ships, and now Yabi's so low, at least he's got Zifon with him. Bubble on the other side makes it a double. He's still got Nico Erdos, the in-game leader. Drops the bomb and surely gathers an 11 for SKADE.
Oh, 1v1's fed over to Bubble as he pops their bubble and makes it a 4 versus 2. SKADE in control of this one now. Roy and Hooksy try to make their way in from mid. Rainwaker might have been spotted. The headshot does come through, but the bomb is up in Candles, and both these players have to combine to maintain this clutch.
They've got a molly for Hooksy, so at least put that down into the Candles position, make it awkward. Another re-smoke for Dreamer. And even Denny's got a smoke who's playing with that AWP to defend the B side.
Press forward attempt from Roy, sprays through the smoke. Such low HP, Vimy needs Hooksy's backup, going in for a very long backstab instead. The re-smokes come down for the CT line. I mean, they're not watching the backstab, so it could be plausible for them to take it. Roy in the midst of the smoke, though. Will he get caught at the edge of it? It really all comes down to Hooksy and his timing, and time's just running so low. 15 seconds. Bubble's now watching the backstab. As Roy pushes on, he's spotted, he's sprayed. Hooksy comes up with one good frag, but 10 seconds. They're just going to need to run away here. One more player will make his way out from the corner. They will try and grab that bomb, grab that AWP. Does get away with at least an exit. He might run into the hands of the next player. No, holds back to the corner of Candles. But it's going to be a round for SKADE and not one that Copenhagen Flames should have lost there. 3 1v1s given up there in Candles. That's pretty poor form.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. Just the spacing, right, needed to be so much tighter. You can't just allow yourself to run individually, like you mentioned, Jay, into the hands of Bubble, because even though he's an in-game leader and he doesn't put up the most amount of frags, he's going to capitalize on that. And something the desk even spoke about in the pre-game was in-game leaders individually stepping up. We've got a grand performance coming out from Hooksy. He's top of the server for Copenhagen Flames at 18 kills. Think about Bubble. He went 17 kills and 36 deaths and an entire best of 3 against Eternal Fire. He might match that just in the first map.
Well, so far looking on track to do so. What's the setup for Copenhagen Flames? They got that AWP saved, as you would expect, passed off to Nico Odos. The force issue will come down with the Galils, the Mac 10. Yeah, he's got limited cash amounts. It's not looking like a great setup for the Flames, but what other choice do they have?
Yeah, not many, especially when you've got that big green. So, yeah, put yourself in a position where you look to try and strike with an XE. Denny's been moving around the map a lot with this AWP, and Orpheor Jewel to start it off. Oh, already Nico Odos dealt with.
And Nico had some great moments during that last half, but in this one, they need so much more than just great moments here. And that's a moment which leads to his death. Great opening start, of course, for the AWP, the CT side. Effective, efficient, a good kill found. And it's passive control now for the Flames.
Even for SKADE, with the man advantage, they're not getting too overly aggressive. They're playing it smartly and calculated where they go, let's not give them any advantages. We know if there's an aggressive AWP setup like that and with the economy ruined, they're desperate. They're looking for anything that they can scrape. And even for Dreamer, look at how shallow this jiggle peak is. There's going to be no way that he gets dealt with.
Unless the shots are just that perfect for Copenhagen Flames, and if they had an AK in their hand to get a head Kevlar kill, sure, they don't. Maybe the AWP could do so. Even that's unlikely for Xiphon. Such a hard shot to hit. Lean in. Jump face now seen. The shot does not connect to the man. You can see how shallow that was from the T side perspective. Bubble takes minimal damage on the entries coming in from the T side. The nades taking him down to 32, but still no kills found. And now the rotations come right back in towards the A sites.
And it comes down to Rainwaker in from Donut. He could drop the bomb. He could get on for a multi-frag.
Should hear them. They won't check the corner. Roy and Xiphon line up. 2 kills. Yeah, we're there with the trade back. We'll try to get the bomb now to commit here. Flash is going over. We'll try to get the CTs into the site immediately. They won't deny the bomb plant itself, but a retake seems so easy for them. Yeah, he gets away with 1 pick. No more than that.
Just put pressure onto the players. Don't give them the respect in that situation where they can get the bomb down and safely escape back towards an A main position or out there in Donut. No, as soon as you hear that bomb going down, just peek straight away. Ships has got that backup behind him from Bubble to trade off one another. And even for Ships, he's having a slightly rough game here on Ancient when normally this is a guy that we talk about in very high praises. It shows the capability of the lineup that even when Ships isn't having a grand performance, the teammates are there for the support.
12-10 now. SKADE in full control of this CT side. Copenhagen Flames at least got a bomb plant bonus. They can reinvest into this round. No warps for them. It's the AK's 1 Galil to limit for Hooksy and limited utility for Xiphon and for Roy. What is the counterplay? What is the thing that breaks this streak? What's the thing that Copenhagen Flames can do to get back into this map? Smokes go down. Roy is up towards Cheetah. The spray is from Bubble. Try and look for the man, but not connect any shots just yet. He's thinking about it, and he's getting close, but no kill.
Yeah, further damage onto Roy, just outside of that window position. And Bubble puts another re-smoke down, so there's no way that even Roy can think about a slight lurk and a walk forward. And Denny's thinking of even Ships getting aggro. He could hold him with the AWP for Ships to continue to aggress.
Flashes over, smokes down, Ships walking away, the AWP. Still watching, but Denny as Ships gets picked up by Roy. All important start. Tag up against the AWP now, where they're coming in from this elbow angle. As Rainwaker backs off, Denny will end up dropping, so a much better start in this round for the Flames.
Hey, just getting the mid picks and catching SKADE sleeping, not expecting that window clearance to come through from Roy, even with the information from Bubble. And an over-rotation towards the A site already shows that it's going to be a gamble. And with Flames taking B, SKADE are just going to hold on to their weapons, save into the next round.
Smoke set, Molotov's back, freebie bump site. They'll clear out those entryways just in case there's a CT player lurking, but I imagine with the bomb going down, SKADE won't even bother for the retake here. The money's in the toilet. 3 rifles can be valuable to them on the reinvest, a force buy around them, drop some weapons if possible. Then he should be all right to do so. Ships, maybe less so. Yeah, right call to save the weapons. Copenhagen Flames going to get to 11. Even though sometimes it might look like they're getting knocked down for the count, they seem to find a resurgence here and there. The next objective is to follow it up and get the lead back.
Well, they'll get a very good buy, because Bubble's going to drop that AWP over to Denny. Denny can drop an M4 back, and Rainwaker can drop an M4 over to Ship. So we'll see all the mass amount of players getting the rifles. It just comes down to the utility and maybe some of the rest of it that's going to come through into the setup. Copenhagen Flames, that was much better from them. They slowed it down, they peeked together in from mid, and you just saw that with Ships getting that aggressive and Denny not looking up to window, they just get exploited. So something SKADE are going to have to keep an eye on for is maybe re-aggressing mid in the mid round, because that's something they hadn't done before, and when they attempted, it didn't work.
Passiveness in general from the SKADE side, and Dreamer's gone a little bit quiet. Roy's the man that's on fire here in the second half, though. 18 frags deep for him.
Yeah, can he continue it? Might even be the difference maker, honestly. Just look at the way that he's entering up towards lane. SKADE, they're not putting a massive amount of utility here consistently towards the lane portion, so it just means his map control is going to get taken early portion of the rounds, pretty much every round.
Oh, he's going to push ahead of the incendiary, take 1 point of damage. Flash is going over to allow him to peek in towards that mid position. Bubble's going to try and siphon him off from his teammates. The footstep was heard, and now the CT's revealed his angle. Smoke down to Cheetah. That's the right move to make, siphoning them off from the entries.
Yeah, more spams. They know exactly where Roy is. The issue is they don't know about Dreamer, so this could almost be a bait. The Bubble's just spamming through and not getting his teammates to do the same. That Nico Erdos and Roy think, oh, one cheater, let's just peek together.
Maybe they get the kills just yet here, and the smokes will start to fade, so they'll think about it. Nades up towards Candles, meanwhile, as the mid-campaign yields no fruit for the Copenhagen Flames. 52 seconds to the clock. Roy with a peek, wins that one fight. Dreamer can indeed get the trade back. It's a 1-for-1.
Put that incendiary down, nothing that Jabby can do here. And now they might even have to contact and not commit towards the BXE.
Denny on site here will look on. The Molotovs will go down towards Wood. The flashes will go over. A peek in. It's Dreamer instead with the kill. Trade back for Nico Oros. Denny Slaw can make it 3 versus 2. AK picked up now for Hooksy, and they're going to have to commit towards this. The third player's on their way into the site. They've got Ships backed up towards Short, and Denny now making his way in towards Wood. A smoke down will keep the M4 suppressed. And there's no further U2. It's going to be dry peaks and picks in for the Copenhagen Flames. The perfect headshots at the right time. They spray through, they do damage, but Ships comes up against Hooksy, drops that bomb anyway. And now Yabby with 10 seconds to try hold the clutch here. Wins the fight. 1v1. Ships almost gives him what he wants, but takes the kill anyway to maintain 13 for SKADE.
You could think one of the most impactful rounds that we've seen from Ships in the entire Ancient right there. I love the way that Dreamer's taking the majority of the contact and the information around that cheater position, and then even helping the AWPer out. Denny holding his life, repositions out to Wood. That's a great spam in for Yabby, just to be able to get the AWPer down, deal with the rotate of Rainwaker, but not quite capitalize on that last player. It comes down to another clutch, and SKADE come through.
The Copenhagen Flames' clutching ability has not been as fantastic as SKADE's have been. M4's SMG back out. Of course, AK's in for the Copenhagen Flames. They don't quite get a bomb plant bonus in that previous one, but they can afford to justify this anyway. 13-11. This T side is still trailing behind the SKADE camp. The sprays through towards Roy, almost catching the kill for it. The SMG for Rainwaker comes up with a frag, picks up the opener for SKADE again.
That's something we haven't seen. Every single time they've been fighting Roy, it's been in cheetah, not towards windows. They obviously put that util down, realized the Copenhagen Flames aren't going for a mid-take, so okay, let's just send that MP9 up there, get him close range.
Molotov spray through Ships to 44 points of HP. Burning away from Pit and getting back up into the donut angle. Hooksy will lean in, flashes forward. Not gaining anything for now, though. 50 seconds. Walk just continues.
How was that even possible? How did Ships not fall there? At least they get the pick over towards B, so it's an opening stance to allow the execution to follow up, and they've got Hooksy into Candles now. He can cut the rotates.
We hear the footsteps of the 3 players going back there, and they might start to back off and try challenge Ships directly. The lowest HP player on the CT side now got to dish out the entire defensive damage. Denny waiting for an pick. Yabby swings, takes a dink for his trouble, but gets away with the kill against it. Hooksy also getting Rainwaker. Dreamer bails out. Denny somehow escaping with no damage. Ziffon with the bomb plant. Should be secured back behind the boxes. Now hearing the footsteps of the two players inbound from Elbow. Dream attack the two, Denny Thor to a 2v2. Backstab inbound from Nico Odo, so now it's just left to Yabby to try and hold it. The AWP should spot at least the first man connected. Denny alone, tapping that bomb. No kit with the AWP in hand. Sprays through, the AK should drive him away. The USP trying to see if he can get that final frag, but no. Nico Odos ends up with a triple. A bit of a quiet half from him so far, but a big round once again to get Copenhagen Flames within one.
And that forces 3 players on double eco status now here for SKADE. So you kind of need to force it up. That was a very good call coming through from Hooksy, just realizing how many players had over-rotated from the A side. And the fact that he even leaves himself, it seemed as if Denny had the read, just holding that AWP, waiting for that walk. And then as soon as he starts running, you just know it's game over from there. Post-plant comes through. Copenhagen Flames up to 12. They win this round. They probably give themselves a lead.
It's like they could win the round as well. Force buy with pistols out for the SKADE side. Don't count the Deagles out. But look at the comparison here. The rifles versus the pistols. And the rifles have usually come up trumps here. We haven't seen a definitive eco for force buy victory so far. Only 25 rounds deep, but that can all change right now from the SKADE side, depending on their tenacity, depending on whether they can bring that standard Bulgarian style to the fold. It's passive control from both sides, carefully placed on the Copenhagen Flames.
If they need one of those big individual moments, it's a round like this. There's even an aggressive Denny that's playing out towards that A main position. He might be the one to strike off this beginning.
Bring in from Zifon. Such a deadly position to be at here because he hasn't cleared Denny. CZ will check it and win that fight. That's the start that SKADE needed.
And not actually aggressing forward to get that rifle. Dreamer and Bubble, they're going to get faced with some assistance.
Top ahead of the Deagle, shot connecting for the AK instead. 4 versus 4, but Dreamer has potential, and he lands that potential on Yabby's brain. Ready for Hooksy next around the corner here at the cheater angle, and he's fallen the same. A 2 versus 4 now. The Orpanika Odo trying to find entries, and Denny behind the smokes over at long. Watch out as Roy starts to aggress. Dreamer's hunting for more here. He's got a double, on for the triple, and the head's not looking the right way. SKADE are gonna steal it. Copenhagen Flames have thrown their best chance away.
That is a Dreamer special. What a sequence that is from him. Playing out from Cheetah to find 2 kills, to drop an AK to a teammate in there at Cave, and then still take the fight with a dig. End up with 3, but you also need to give credit to Denny. He was the one that gave them the man advantage and even rotated around back over to the B site, came out from long, was able to get a CZ kill to make it 2. SKADE with a force buy. They made that look easy.
Well, yesterday it was all Rainwaker and Dreamer, the dynamic duo of the 1vx scenarios. Now it's just Dreamer doing it all on his lonesome. 26 kills deep in this matchup. Keeping pace with the round streak thus far. It's got Denny right behind him at 23 as well. There's several players having impact for SKADE. Copenhagen Flames have their numbers pretty decent in their own right, but it's just not enough here.
Yeah, Dreamer's been an incredible player. As soon as he joined Fiend, wasn't it? We saw just how much of an immediate stance it was for him, how many years he'd been left on the sidelines with the VAC and was not able to play in the Valve events and didn't really get too many officials under his belt in 2017, 2018, even 2019. It was the years prior to that where we really got to see the most out of him, and last year and this year, we're seeing even more bang. Might even get closer to that 30 bomb. And it's not even the numbers, it's the impact. Knowing that you want a force buy there, they lose that force buy, you're down 13-14, and then you start getting in your own heads. The map's probably over. Now look at the position they put themselves in. 14-12 up against a rubbish buy of Copenhagen Flames. This is theirs for the taking.
Yeah, this was a huge momentum swing round the Copenhagen Flames couldn't take. Instead, it sprung back the weight of the SKADE side, because look at the buyback for the Flames. 2 AKs, 3 pistols. Au contraire to how confident they looked in the previous, at least from the setup perspective. Took 2 tacticals in that freeze time, and I guess that was the right time to do it here. That was their best chance to take control. Now it's just been thrown away.
Yeah, Bubble spamming through, in from that window position, getting a nade out towards elbow. It's going to be the full commit into B from Ramp.
Smokes down, Hooksy leaning in. Trying to get that AK involved against Dreamer. Well, Bubble preferably the sprays through the wall, getting the dink onto him. 10 points of HP for Hooksy. Already a start out for the CT side.
I just noticed the sacrifice too. You watch back those Fiend games, we saw Dreamer always playing A. He was the A anchor, used to even double AWP a fair bit on CT side. Come here on SKADE, he's playing B anchor, and he's multi-fragging like crazy. Him and Bubble both playing up on the long side. The quickest rotation is going to be ships in mid.
Komodos and Roy walking forward, Dreamer and Bubble watching and waiting. Incendiary throw down, Nikolas with a swing, the spray goes right for Bubble, that's a start out, but Dreamer has his line, makes it 2 kills, and not aware of him in the off angle, can't get a triple, so a 3v2 for Copenhagen Flames, and Rainwaker will be watching out for the lurk here, the bomb gets planted successfully.
Oh, Denny's getting wrapped in, there's an aggressive move from Hooksy, but he's low.
There comes the AWP shot, 2 versus 2. Retake on here for SKADE. The backstab still coming in for Ziffon. The AK's got to hold back, and now the Deagle's going to strike. Headshot to connect, going all the way back into the backlines, pulling Denny's attention all the way towards Candles. There's no rifle for the lone T-side player, and they think that he might have gone for that wraparound rotation. 5 seconds to the stick. Ziffon got to go for the wallbang sprays right now. Deagle pulled out, tap forward. He tags Denny, but can't get the kill shot. And SKADE still hold the round with the retake. Map point for the Bulgarian side.
I don't think Ziffon could have played that any differently, right? He just has to hope that his teammates on the bomb side are staying alive. And if that is a potential, then he sets himself up to play the late game. Hooksy gets picked off aggressively. Yabby gets caught out into wood. And then the Deagle is just hoping. Does the bomb just get tapped? Does it not get stuck? It doesn't happen at all. SKADE get up to 15. Another one of those glut situations coming through for the Bulgarians.
And the rotation just took too long there. 4th tactical taken by the Flames. Final tactical taken by the Flames in this map-up. It is the SKADE pick, that's a silver lining, but again, this could be a 2-0 considering how powerful those first 2 maps are in the series for both squads. And SKADE have come up to play here today.
Yeah, we've always seen some competitive nukes coming in for both of these squads, so momentum is going to be a massive facet when it comes to both of these teams. SKADE, 1 more round to go. And even for Copenhagen Flames, they're stuck on a Galil and not even full util sets.
Okay, it's a bubble spray through, trying to get back out of dodge. Molotov's burning Nikolas to 42 points of HP. Start out for SKADE, passively held. Smokes go down for Dreamer to try to press this ramp entrance, and Bubble. His flashbang's ready to make his way into Cheetah. Out of cave on the entrance, hoping there's a contact play. There isn't, though.
Now, for SKADE's point of view, in a round like this, the longer they stall, the more of the advantage they have. Just when it comes down to the lack of utility for Copenhagen Flames, it seems as if they're trying to sell a fake towards mid and maybe prod towards getting some donut control. It really looks as if, though, they're going to end up on B.
Molly's in, Hooksy spotted, Rainwaker engaged against Roy. Roy gets away with the frag. 4 versus 5, Denny trying to look for the trade back over at Donut. The rotation's called in heavy towards the A play, and mid play ships get caught off by Hooksy now. That's a 2nd kill. Copenhagen Flames, a 5v3 gain, and Dreamer the only player to hold the B side, which is about to get hit. Even Hooksy extends towards him, removes all elements from play. Where was this Copenhagen Flames all half?
Yeah, that's a very good question. That was a beautiful take of mid. Look at the angle of elevation, right? The way that Hooksy's playing down underneath, that Roy's got the advantage slightly higher up. They peek together into that donut position, and they're just playing mind games. They're over-rotating Denny into an aggressive mid-take to look into donut. Ships then gets caught off guard. Now it just comes down to Denny and Bubble to hold on to their weapons. And with the economy game where it sits for SKADE, when you think about the loss bonus only being on single round, you're kind of on double eco status. You've got 2 players saved in. You might just force by going into the next.
Copenhagen Flames could use that force buy to their advantage. The economical reset against the SKADE side. Double eco for a couple players as well. Like, this makes sense to be a force invest, but if they do so, then they could go 14-15, another force buy to 15-15. That's the momentum swing that Copenhagen Flames were looking for when they were 13-12. AK is out by passing off for CZ to ships, and they will eventually commit here.
And not that heavy, though. Notice the way they're giving themselves an insurance policy. So this tells me they want to try and get the most out of the AK and the AWP as possible, but give themselves some security into the next.
Flashes going over, trying to find the entries over towards lane. Flashes in from Denny as well. The AWP peeking forward, not seeing Nico Odos. Falling back passive to the back of the B site.
Yeah, get a smoke down. Bubble can peek in towards mid, at least gather some of the information. Out towards backplat on A. That's going to be the first point of contact because, at least for the T side, they're starting to walk out.
More pin for Denny. We'll watch out the donut entrance. Got to look towards main where there's 2 players standing. Catches 1 player looking out, peeking out with Hooksy. A frag found for the AWP. Dreamer held back at plat. Not going to reveal his position just yet. 5-on-4 for now.
Yeah, he's going to aggress and try and get that rifle, get it over to Ships if possible, the only other player with the Kevlar. And look at the over-rotation. They're gambling on B. They've got a read on this, but it might not be the right one.
Dreamer's got to stand and fight here. Molotov's put down by Roy to try and draw their attention back into this K position again towards the B site rotation. The stacks out and they continue flashing their way forward. As the bomb slowly creeps in towards Donut, it is only Dreamer to hold it down. Bubble will find the flank, should catch Roy. 5 versus 3, and now they recognize what's going on. Hard start back in. Copenhagen Flames have got to commit, but are they aware of this? The rotations continue to come in for the CT side. Missed smokes also come down from the T side forces. Rainwaker tagged to 6. Zifon's low. Dreamer can get himself 2 kills, and he gets away with it with Rainwaker's support. This force buy, this half buy, this eco kind of play is going to win out the map. 60-13 for SKADE as they take the Ancients.
That wasn't an easy fare at all, Jay. He saw a couple of scrappy rounds towards the end there, and some of those important ones, winning the force buys, winning the half buy in that situation, but it's the result that counts. The first map going the way of the SKADE side, and for Copenhagen Flames, it felt like we were really starting to see something of them towards the second half, but not quite enough.
Yeah, not quite enough for the CT side either. That 9-6 scoreline just was so well placed by SKADE to get the early advantage of the pistol conversions and the rifles to follow suit. And the Flames just couldn't quite bring it back far enough. So ultimately, it is a map pick for SKADE that is won out by SKADE. And now we'll see whether Copenhagen Flames' map pick can do some damage up with the desk.
Map Ancient Home as their own map pick goes their way. And Copenhagen Flames, well, they did give a fight for it. They did give a fight for the money, but could almost say that no victory, no cigar.
Yeah, I think this game is a good example of how important a great start to a game can be. A 4-0 start there for SKADE to begin things off and only managing 2 more in that T side, which you really know is a very, very hard side on Ancient. So when it ends in a 16-13 scoreline, I mean, it's pretty straightforward maths.
Yeah, a lot of ifs and buts left here for Copenhagen Flames. I don't think they necessarily were the worst team on Ancient. I think if you look at the gun rounds purely, they might be on the side of Copenhagen Flames. But hey, the W goes to SKADE. They get the ball rolling really quickly with the 4-0 start, and also on the other side of things, 4-0 starts. So on both sides, they kind of get the ball rolling really quickly. And to add on to that, all the impact rounds, all the clutches, that Dreamer, Deagle moment where it looked like Flames are going to come back into this, going to force it to maybe even an overtime situation. But Dreamer, he wasn't on the same page with that. He disagreed.
Yeah, Dreamer played a good game, but in general, if you think about SKADE, you know, getting both pistol rounds as well, how much did that actually impact their confidence into this one?
Winning both pistol rounds is of course, when you don't drop the second round or you manage to convert those, it's big in terms of just winning the map overall.
All right, well, let's take a look at some replays, and potentially we have a couple of clips.
Yeah, sure. So here, an example of just those SKADE strong A attacks. I think we saw quite a bit of Bs, where the meta seems to be focused on those B side attacks quite a bit. We saw SKADE going for the A side hits quite a bit, and this is the first gun round of things. Just managing to pick up the trades, as the caster said. I thought that was a pretty good point. At all these points, it felt like Copenhagen Flames, they were down 3v4, 2v3. They just couldn't get the early fights going for them.
Yeah, a couple awkward timings as well with utilities in hands and just getting instantly shot. There was also a couple things that you know, just got unlucky with too, but also impacted for positive signs for SKADE.
Yeah, and then if you just look at the raw numbers in the game, we were highlighting players like Yabi, for example. Not like an abysmal game or anything, but the expectations are very, very high. Especially the crucial kills in a lot of those situations, because a round can be defined by a single kill that goes one way or the other, right?
Yeah.
And in vast majority, it was always SKADE that managed to get that one kill. And typically speaking, it was players like Yabi, for example, who were in those fights not able to convert.
Well, more specifically about player cards, we already mentioned about Dreamer having a really good game. Obviously, this was probably his best performance as well in a couple days, couple weeks, maybe even. I feel like this was a very impactful map by him.
Yeah, especially that Deagle clip on the fourth round at the tail end of this Ancient. That was a big one. That was huge for the team. And also in the first half, there was a really, really nice attempt. I don't believe it's this round, but he picks up Dennis Lopes up without armor, manages to make it really, really close and uncomfortable for Copenhagen Flames. That round, it should have been done way earlier, but to start things off, Dreamer showed he's on the server, he's alive, he's doing well, and he's making things uncomfortable for Copenhagen Flames.
Yeah, closing rounds and also opening up rounds.
This is it.
Yeah, just doing everything basically for his team.
I mean, this was the point. 12-13. It's a force. The Eagles, maybe a rifle or two for SKADE. It should have been maybe 14-13 after Copenhagen Flames should have converted that. I'm using a lot of these should-haves, ifs, and buts.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, when it's done and dusted, it's SKADE celebrating.
Could have maybe.
Could have, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But when you have positives, you also have some downsides. I think ships, 0-6 in entries, maybe a bit of a silent performance in this one.
Doesn't matter when you win. It's absolutely zero.
True.
Makes absolutely zero difference. They have one on the board in terms of.
But it could have been easier, I guess.
Doesn't matter. Absolutely zero relevance.
Ask SKADE if they care.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Well, can we talk about positives even if you lose the map? Can we still talk about that though, Roche?
Yeah, I think Roy was on point in this one. 22 frags, 23 deaths. Okay, he's -1 on that counter, but 7 entry frags. We saw that also on the T side. He's finding those openings, even going for dry peaks and still managing to win a lot of those out. So not quite enough in the end, but maybe a positive sign of things to come when this best of 3 goes further.
I think the one sample we forgot to pinpoint was SKADE's amazing B fake converting to an A push earlier. It just came up to my mind from Roy because he was the one.
We could look at it. I think
he was the one looking on lane when Bubble goes for a pop flash, and he's just looking at an empty lane like, there's nothing.
Hey,
here.
thanks production. We actually have it here.
No, this is a different one.
Oh, this is the Deagle play.
Yeah. Same Deagle play. Anyhow, doesn't matter. Just a random thought that came to my mind.
But this was still a pretty crazy round from Dreamer in general.
Speaking of Roy, yeah, for sure. Had plenty. Like his impact was amazing. Over 100 ADR. Almost hitting that 30 bomb in the map.
Oh boy.
Talk about, oh boy. A second map has to be played, though, this time. What do you think are going to be the chances for Copenhagen Flames? I feel like they have a really good fight here in Ancient. I feel like we might just get to 3 maps. I hope, I pray.
Yeah. I think this is a point where the coach, Vorberg, just has to go and tell the team that we were the better team on Ancient, even though we ended up losing. It doesn't matter if we agree if they were the better team, but just to get the confidence up for the players, we were the better team on the service. Just keep it up, go to our own map pick, and get things going there.
Yeah, 58% on Nuke, SKADE 80% on Nuke. What do you think about that? Doesn't matter.
Beautiful numbers.
Yeah, beautiful lights as well. We're I don't know, some kind of devil's nest right now, but
back to Christmas we go. The kind of maybe go on Robert's point there and how Copenhagen Flames has to think about this. I don't think it's unreasonable to, from their perspective, even think that hey, we were the better team or that we were at least on par, because it was very, very much down to so many small little things that made it go the way of SKADE. This could have easily been a 16-13 for Copenhagen Flames as well.
Yeah, there was a band that also made a pretty nice song about all the small things. But hey, sometimes it's bigger or smaller. We shall take a tiny commercial break, at least take a bit of a breather and set ourselves for the second map of this series, potentially maybe even the last, but hopefully we'll get to all to 3. But we'll have to let the players decide on that. But after the commercial break, we shall return with the studio.
Well, Copenhagen Flames looking pretty strong, at least if you look at their most recent result, going against NIP, one of the top teams in the world in Katowice, 16-3, and you can't even say that they had to or got to start on the CT side and just got things on a lockdown there. No, it was actually a T side, 12-3 against NIP, so that's probably where Copenhagen Flames get their confidence for this map pick right here. So for the SKADE side of things, it's not looking too bad either. They actually had a 5-map winning streak that got broken by their countrymen in Fate just a little while ago, a few days ago. But yeah, still a pretty strong map for them. Again, the strength of opposition hasn't been quite as great as an NIP, but still should be a pretty good one for SKADE too.
Yeah, T numbers are definitely going to matter a lot. We had some predictions going on last time with the previous nuke map on how many rounds we're going to get on T side. I'm not going to ask the same question from you, Natu, but the importance of the T side start for either team here obviously has a big impact on how it might go. But is there a limit where we kind of draw, like, I guess it's going to be a more one-sided show if the other team is much better on the T side than the other team?
Yeah, well, considering how the first map went and how it must have been a little bit frustrating for the likes of Flames, they of course opt to go for a strong start here on the T side, and then it can easily snowball, because vice versa, if it's SKADE that gets a flying start, you know, you can see a world where it might be getting kind of mentally onto Flames, and if they're capable of coming back from that.
Player forms as well. Now that looking at the ratings also from some of the players, we're expecting Jabby to play a lot better than what we saw in the first map. Though ratings on SKADE, Dreamer 145, Denislaw 131. Can they keep their form up?
Don't know. Don't have a crystal ball once again, but you'd hope if you're a SKADE fan for sure. I think this map definitely does bode well for players like him. I'm gonna expect more from ships on Nuke for sure. Because, you know, this is yet again a map where you can find those gaps. Maybe we can go through smokes, crisscrossing with the CTs once they hit that T side.
Yeah, I feel like Strips was mega invisible on the first map. I don't think that's gonna continue for too long here on Nuke. Yeah, it's gonna be a big ship here. But again, I'm here just for the show of Dreamer against Roy. That should be a fun one as well. They've been so consistent that I'm gonna have to expect them to be atop of the scoreboard again.
Well, let's see if SKADE's going to start building their Viking fleet with ships, or is it going to be Copenhagen Flames setting those boats on fire? We'll go back to the Eternal J and Dweg.
To the XLDLC guys, losses to Eternal Fire, and then it starts bringing aboard a picture to say if SKADE win their clutches, if they show up.
Absolutely is, and that's the key thing, right? Anything is possible. That's what you have to essentially just go into this series with. Is what we were coming into this series with overall. 2-0-3 maps, it's entirely plausible. But the concern, of course, for the Copenhagen Flames will be winning out their map pick. They couldn't get one of their stronger maps in over on Ancient, the SKADE pick coming their way, and now the Danes with a chance to turn it around here. T-side start for Nuke, their own map pick. As we get to the pistol round, the Glocks will charge their way down to Secret, uncontested by SKADE here. One player will start peeking in from Heaven, and one from Mini will both get tagged up, but Ziff and Nikolos also get damage to return.
Yeah, seeing that bomb just dive those rotates down, bubble out from decontamination, not finding much, but look at how many CTs there are at the lower bomb site.
And the Rafters one tagged up player in Bubble. It ships that draws first blood in this matchup. Roy caught out towards decontamination. Nico Odos can trade Dreamers to try and make their way back up the stairs, but the bomb gets dropped by Denny and shipped Flames acting too quick on that one. SKADE so itchy to get the kills together, get the round together, and they'll be the exact same thing here in the anti-eco ships, in particular with the triple. They need towards out, so they're going to make it a very quick round indeed. Copenhagen Flames, no bomb plant bonus, but again, much like they did over on Ancient, take the eco in a second to go for the buy in a third, and the rifles will be out now for the T side.
Just keeping in mind the start that SKADE were able to get off to in the first half. They're now 3 for 3 in pistols. They got off to 4-0 on the CT side, 4-0 on the T side. Now we look at Nuke. If they're able to get another 4-0, another 5-0, they can show their dominance from such an early portion of the map.
Well, it's very fast rounds coming in from the Copenhagen Flames. They start to slow things down. Masters in the M4's out. The defaults will start to get set in by Xiphon, looking out toward the ramp position. The smokes coming in from the CT side will suppress any early engagements that could come through, but again, it has been slowed down. It's passive control.
Yeah, Bubble trying to see if he can get some sight over the door itself. Not quite catching off Yabby out towards that vent position, and that's the first opening advantage going for the Flames. They don't quite commit with it. They want to see what the repercussions of that first loss is, of what SKADE do. How are the rotations? How are they fighting it out? And Copenhagen Flames can go back into a topside play.
Opening frag doing wonders for their lineup here. The rotations will come back out towards outside instead. Not quite top side, with the outside smokes being set up towards the secret entrance. What are the specifics? The diagonal sets to be the red box smokes. The diagonals coming in from the T side.
And they've got Denny very passive. And the issue is what's going to be the first contact? Ships is already starting to rotate down at that lower bomb side. Rainwaker can be there at ramp. Copenhagen Flames haven't shown any presence, and they're not making any noise.
Very little info being given away to SKADE here. 40 seconds to the clock. Now I've got a player downstairs on the B site itself. That's ships in the rafters that won't be challenging the Copenhagen Flames directly. Open up the windows or the doors in order to reveal angles, but time's running short. They're going to have to go for this hit.
I need to get a move on. I need Yabby to try and strike towards the top side just to sell the fake.
Now Rainwaker's here with the second man rotation to join the B-site defensive. And watching double doors, seeing at least one player popping out, 1-for-1 trade as they do catch off ships, and Rainwaker will eventually fall. Dreamer on rotate, will catch Rixie back at Decon. Try to switch out to the AK, no, tries to kill the bomb plot instead. Could be denied. Dreamer's won the round. He's just got to stay alive here, and that's exactly what he'll do. Copenhagen Flames way too slow. Oh, Yabby, never mind. Just grabbing the headshot in the last possible moment, getting the first round for Copenhagen Flames.
Okay, so Rainwaker puts the incendiary back there towards default, and that means the bomb just does not get planted straight away. So Dreamer knows, swing out for Decon, deal with the toxic plant, and this round is mine. What a late play down the vents that is for Yabby just to get the kill. I mean, there's ticks in this. It is so low on the timer. I don't know how he wins that.
The HUD says he was out of time right there. Like, that was ticks. You're right, a single tick might have made the difference. My word, Copenhagen Flames just barely scraping by on the skin of their teeth. And the SMG of Bubble will try force forward against Yabby. Forced investment SKADE coming out for round 4.
Yeah, both players doing the exact amount of damage to one another. You got one up towards the top of Mustang that's playing anti-flash, expecting some util to go over those skylights. Rainwaker putting the smoke down towards ramp just in case there's any further rush and presence to come out for the T side. Not a lot of util at all for SKADE to work with. All they've got left is that one smoke for ships, which has just been used, and a couple of flashes.
Slow walks up again for the default set for the Copenhagen Flames. Trying to see if they can force out SKADE to make a mistake here. Just as passive on the CT side, exactly like the last round was. No opening duels early on this time.
Yeah, Bubble missed the squeak door smoke out from that default position. What they don't know about is the outside lurk. That's Roy being dealt with.
SMG back for Bubble, following suit on Yabby. That's a 5 versus 3, trying to make it 2 now. Swaps to the AK for better firepower and might win the fight as a result. 2K looking for the 3, not quite. Nico Odos with 2 to respond here, so he opens up the A side, but dives down into the B play. Right, cool, because the ramp play coming in from Xiphon now leads it to conversion upon Rainwaker, who gets away with damage. No casualty though, 2 on 2.
Oh, what a recovery. This is now starting to shape up for Nico Odos. Xiphon out towards the bomb site's been seen, and that's the tap through for Dreamer. Now things get awkward. He's so darn low.
Nico Odos on for the ace stole and taps close towards Denny, but doesn't connect a kill shot or a tag for that matter. The fuse held, SKADE with 3-1 to the board.
Okay, so this kind of comes down now to a little bit more of reading the situation. While the util wasn't entirely on point there for SKADE, having Denny so deep in garage that has not been seen before just means that Roy, with that slight walk outside to get into that main position, gets caught off, and then just notice how quickly they realize that vent drop. Okay, yeah, they do give some isolated fights from both Bubble and from Ships onto that one player of Nico Odos, but because the rotates and the information's there at that lower bomb site, they've got that whole round under wraps.
There's early kills coming in, so effectively it set up that round for the SKADE side. Copenhagen Flames just couldn't seem to find the trays to get the advantage back. The guns in for the force buy. We'll see Galil's, Mac 10, a Deagle for Hooksy. Not a massive amount here for the Flames. Definitely better on the CT side. M4's across the board.
Yeah, Ships outside with a crossfire haul. This looks to be dry. If they cross into secret, they might have a tough time without the smokes.
They've got 3 of them on their pouches, but I don't think they're going to utilize them here. Yami might set one up outside of the spawn angle. It all depends on timing, how quickly they want to go. Dry out indeed does come through, and Ships and Denny will get a 2-for-1 trade as a result of that. Xiphon also getting tagged, bomb being dropped to the open, and Ships not going to allow Xiphon to get it back. So 4 versus 2, not the best of efforts from Copenhagen Flames, honestly.
No, being very dry, just getting picked apart. Ships finally dealt with. They've at least seen the main player for Bubble, but it's how do they regain the bomb? That's now the next task.
They've got to cross back out into the open. They've got a smoke for Hooksy at least. We could put that down. Seems to be the case. They're going to smoke off Mini though. Dreamer's still watching at AC. The Incendiary comes back from spawn and everything. Molotov's back and everything to try and stop the bomb getting picked up. Hooksy in challenge 1, sprayed through the smoke, trying to catch Bubble. As Yabi falls, it'll all after Hooksy, and he just can't seem to hold on. Too many players to deal with. That's 4-1 to the board of SKADE. Copenhagen Flames, no bomb plot, no buy.
And when we've spoken to Bubble in the past when he was playing on Fiend, one of the maybe crux of the team of them on Nuke was the CT side and the lack of experience. We saw like Red Star AWPing outside, and then Harm was playing ramp because they weren't too familiar with the map. Now that he's inserted himself into a team that have actually played Nuke before he joined, kind of fits the system so much better for how he can call on Nuke with the players that he's got around him.
Damage done early to Hooksy again. The nades up against the pistols. Not a lot of Kevlar for the T side line. Xiphon first of all. And it's a bit of formality around here for the Copenhagen Flames. SKADE should get to 5-1 before the guns come back out. And that's where Copenhagen Flames need to establish themselves here on the T side half. It was SKADE's T side that set themselves up for the ancient win in the last map. Of course, their CT side also went well. It's that conversation factor of, listen, if you get a decent first half, if you get a decent weakened half, then that could be enough to secure the map itself.
Yeah, just toying with them at this point, hoping for some further overfaces, which Ships is at least giving up to Garage. They might be able to capitalize on another reface. Nothing out to credit card that Yabi can see. Both of these Deagles just really looking for anything. You don't have much upgrades into this round. If you can drop one of the AKs of Bubble, that would be great, because he's playing there close at main.
Yabi leaning in with the Deagle. Watching top of blue, Bubble. Nice set towards the secret cross. Copenhagen Flames haven't really got action to move. The shadow has not been seen. Maybe it was called out there, actually. I would have thought a Bubble would have tried to adjust to it. I think Ships is adjusting to it instead. You can see him at a bit more of an advanced angle without revealing himself in the outer yard. Rainwaker looks on from spawn instead to grab that kill. And now Nico Odos here in a 1 versus 4. No chance. Again, not really much of an outlook in this round in the first place.
He's going to have to get some pace behind him. 20 seconds left. The last outcome he wants is to survive after time, or go down after time. So just try and get that bomb plant in towards a vent dive or a topside play, come out pretty quickly. Bubble's on the other side. 5-1 in from SKADE. So far, not really getting tested. This is a very good start in from SKADE, and they'll be very happy with the scoreline.
Guns out for Copenhagen Flames now to try to change their own scoreline and their own fortunes in this matchup. Very slow to start, and much slower than even on Ancient there. They got their 4 rounds in a row go the way of SKADE before they got there first and try and back into a lead. It's the case for both halves in that one. AK is inbound for them this time around, though. Let's see whether they can finally get something to the board. It's not going to be a last-second steal. A bit more confidence again. It's the main thing that Copenhagen Flames have been missing in terms of their round victories. Yes, they're getting clutches and they're getting the occasional steal, but it's those confident rifles with all 5 alive that have been lacking here from the Danes.
Yeah, more pace towards the outside smokes, but it's a complete fake. It's going to be that upper taker. There's 3 here on the floor.
Molotov's Dreamer forced away. Bubble top of hot unchecked. Dreamer goes down. Bubble can't even get a trade. The ships and Denny will try and back in, and Denny gets away with a decent frag, almost a second, leaning in up towards the squeaky door as Rainwaker tries to join his teammate here in heaven, but unable to really find a frag back. The bomb should go down. The retake will be on. Actually, a save call comes in from SKADE. They're back up to spawn.
Yeah, it's a good call, because you can just see they're the anchor players, right? Ships is the one coming up for the vents, Dreamer's playing default, and Bubble's playing top heart. They don't really find enough success. If it's an even playing field and they trade off each other very well, you probably have the confidence to go for that kind of round. You know, Denny's low, money's not fantastic. Don't risk it. 2v3, just fall back, hold on to your weapons, because you know you've been so dominant so far, and you haven't even really been put in situations where you might be weighing up the risk in your mind. Just make the safer call and buy up in the next round. Roy with a triple entry too. Full credit to him.
Yeah, big round for the man. Again, we've been talking about him all day long so far. He has had the most amount of impact of any of the Copenhagen Flames players. In this first half, he is going to not quite be the kill leader. Honor goes to Nico Odos. But I imagine that will start to change here as he continues to find multi-frag rounds like that.
Now, SKADE thinking to themselves, if maybe there's outside smokes again, do we need to get someone in secret to peek up to realize it's a fake or actually it's the real play? And there we go, the classic Bubble tactical. As soon as they lose a scrappy round where the top side anchor players struggle, they take a tactical.
This worked for them in the quarterfinals as well there. I mean, they had they had many tactical pauses where it was just a quick moment's respite, back in the game, dominate from there. If they can do that on the CT side, they will put so much pressure on Copenhagen Flames to have a monstrous second half. The AKs and the AWPs, the M4s will be out for all parties, so there won't be any issues when it comes to buying state. Maybe a lack of utility might affect the SKADE side a little bit, and especially in the case of Bubble, only a smoke and an incendiary. That's about it here for the SKADE side. 5-2 is the current scoreline. Tactical taken. Let's see where it goes.
Now have a chat with their coach, Punisher, who before joining SKADE as a coach, was the coach of Copenhagen Flames female team.
I completely forgot the Copenhagen Flames were the female team, actually. I'm not going to lie.
They actually just got one recently.
Yeah, I mean, no, they've always had one. I just kind of forget it exists, to be honest. Like, kill for Denny, finds Roy. Maybe Copenhagen Flames can increase their capacities on all fronts with all their squads now with the new circuits inbound. The performance in the Elisa Invitational that could go to the grand finals, assuming they get this map here. Still playing on the back foot by both a scoreline and in terms of the round itself. They've lost the first of Roy.
Denny's typically more of a passive AWP, and we saw that for the majority of Ancient, but that time you can see the aggression, searching for an opening man advantage, getting that outside control, and then just falling back, playing the numbers game. Copenhagen Flames now regrouping into lobby. Haven't seen many round takes from that, so maybe that's something that they can bring forward with a minute on the clock, is faking a topside play and move out to Ram.
Out a closed vent corner for Dreamer. T-side players walking in without any sort of util thrown out here. Footsteps will now be heard, and Yabi's going to get caught for it. Dreamer will burn alive as Nico Odos and Hooks can find the trade to a 3 versus 3. Bubble gets up close and past them and will be responded to. So even man standing still, and they're expecting Rainmaker to pop out of heaven. Hooksy caught with flashbang in hand. Has also got Denny's Law in the midst of Mini. Could peek ahead of the smokes, I think. Thinking about it, Rainwaker's shoulder being seen. Nades up against him. The bomb should go down. Tapped once, trying to force Denny out of position. Siphon falls to the AWP, but no scope shot connects Hooksy with a headshot back. Last man's in the rafters. Spotted there in the gap, and Hooksy connects a headshot for a triple for Copenhagen Flames.
Oh, jeez. Lovely stuff coming through from Hooksy. Just obviously his teammates calling out that they've seen him just in a crack in the middle there in the default position. Dreamer's there out towards a closed vent. The trading is very good. The AWP comes up from the vents with a no-scope, and the 1v2 comes out of all players from the in-game leader of Hooksy. That's exactly what Copenhagen Flames were looking for and what was required. That gets in the third round on the T side and really wrecks the economy for SKADE.
Wonderfully done. And again, set up for Copenhagen Flames. They're trying to establish momentum, is trying to establish control here. They failed to do so over on Ancient. 3 M4s out. SKADE will try and put the hurt up against them one more time here. One diffuse kit over on Dreamer might become a bit of a hindrance if they have to go for retake. For now, it's just slow walks again. These standard, slow, careful defaults that make their way into secret.
Oh, I've seen this before, though. Dreamer with a deagle on a 4-spy round. Let's see if we get the same outcome. For the moment, Copenhagen Flames are looking for the outside control, but Yabby's still here in and around the T-roof lobby area.
You could argue that Dreamer's Deagle play over on Ancient, it was the thing that ultimately won SKADE that map up. So if he gets going, that could be a positive element. It's Bubbles Deagle that takes first contact and does go down first. It ships with a responsive elsewhere on the outside. So 4-on-4, rotations inbound. The bomb should get planted for Toxic.
Now, Yabby's waiting for one of the lobby players to start moving out towards the outside position. Ships with the M4 struggling, only doing damage. Dreamer's caught off Yabby. That's a rifle now.
That's a 3 versus 3 as well. An AK in the hands. One of the more deadly players from SKADE in the first map. Rainwaker and Denny are already on position, trying to look for the angles of the T-side line. Spotting one player just ahead of Dark. Dreamer starts walking in, smokes go down. The AWP of Nico Odos missing his first shot. Roy comes up decent. Dreamer with a trade. A 2 versus 2 now. Leaning forward, shot not connecting. Tagged to 10 points of HP, and he continues looking for more, but ultimately he loses his life. Hooksy now, lone. Getting a tactical timeout involved here for this round 10 freeze time. And I guess kind of it's appropriate to do so because, yeah, they are winning these rounds, but Hooksy falls into 2 1vx clutches and winning them both, yeah, again, credit to his name, but the issue has always been stemming from they get rounds on occasion here for Copenhagen Flames, but their confidence isn't there to maintain the follow-ups, and with the damage being done in that last round, you can see how the buy is going to be affected here on the T-side line. They are up against an eco round from SKADE at least, so there's that little like caveat point. But you can just see what those clutches will do to a T-side economy state.
You also need to think about the hunger aspect. SKADE know we win both of those rounds, we're 7-2 up, and we're steamrolling. Knowing that they've come so close is more of that hunger aspect to say, okay, let's make sure we close out in these clutches. Just on the eco round, Copenhagen Flames going for a topside play. It's a ramp stack for SKADE.
Yeah, no one's here to defend against the MAC-10 first player out. Roy's going to get the bomb down. SKADE might as well send themselves at the retake here. They've got a Deagle and Bubble. New SPs on everybody else. Actually, Ships has also got a Deagle as well. Let's see what they can do here towards the outside control. They make their way away, trying to find flank positions. Try and get something, anything that they can here. Walks forward for Bubble. We'll try and see if he can spot one player on the outside. Hooksy might get caught off guard for it, but held in the indoors angle to be watching both entryways into the site itself. I mean, they could just find this one rifle and call it there. They're definitely not going for the retake here. Just look for the exit frags against the Copenhagen Flames. They will get to 5 apiece now for the Danish board.
How many kills do they get? That's now the next question, because they're going to send it. As soon as the bomb goes off, send it in, get 1. That's a shame, because when you've got that many more players, you're kind of expecting 2, 3 kills. Doesn't quite happen. They get farmed up with a lot of that MAC-10, so more money getting farmed in by Yabby. The rifles can come back over. 5-5 from the Danes' perspective, at least looking at the scoreboard, this is a pretty good first half from them. If they can keep pressing forward here on Nuke and even get a lead and are looking at sort of 8 or so rounds on the T side, they're just going to set themselves up for the second half.
Yeah, the issues for Copenhagen Flames are not in the scoreline. It's when you pick apart the individual rounds. That's the main issue for them. SKADE, of course, equalized against the rifles coming in for them. Of course, it was an eco in that previous one. They did drop an AK. That's something gained, but nothing major. The Yabby might even stick with the MAC-10 for this round. There's 2 players without head Kevlar for the CT side, so it could still be effective. Of course, Hooksy will be the man to buy down 7 grand on his bank account, so he can't afford to do so. Full AK and full set of utility. Head Kevlar and everything for the T-side line. So yeah, they will stick with the SMG for Yabby. No sense in wasting it. Money line's pretty decent for Copenhagen Flames as well.
And it's a shame to think Rainwaker's having a quiet game, because obviously he's the ramp player, and typically on Nuke, he's the highest rated player on this map. He gets a lot of multi-frags, he shuts down a lot of those ramp Xs. Copenhagen Flames haven't even been touching ramp on the T side.
With the play towards outside and indoors at lobby, Roy already making his way in towards Secret, much faster, much more aggressive. No one's there to receive that information being gained. Meanwhile, the action from Yabi comes out of Squeaky Door, gets ships, Mac 10 effective, rifle now in hand, and B-side's pretty opened up. Rotations from Rainwaker will come through towards the ramp position, holding down the double doors, looking towards the observation window, and the T-side player's about to meet him head on.
Just trying to stay alive is going to be the main objective. Yabi even cutting the rotate from Bubble. This is pretty much round over now.
Spray through, gets one, almost lines up two more as well. The AWP for Denny should find it easy, but does get turned away from in the midst of the smoke. Dreamer, last man standing in the 1 versus 3 situation, will try and look his way around towards ramp control. The bomb should get planted though. And with such an awkward position to take here now with Copenhagen Flames accounting for all bases, this should be a T-side lead.
Yeah, of course it is. Just back off, hold on to the rifle. You've still got an outside lurk of Hooksy that you need to deal with, so take another fight before you can think about saving. And with that entire round, you just think about the timing. Ships is trying to go down the vents when Yabi's doing the exact same thing. If one player was 1 second earlier than the other, it could have been a very different circumstance. And then even with Ships getting caught off by that Mac 10, the M4A1S gets picked up. Bubble on the rotate down from the vents on the top side gets caught off as well. A really wonderful round coming through from Yabi, getting 3 kills, and was the difference maker.
Run rifle saved in for SKADE here. What's the opening frag for Yabi again? Caught on the head of Ships as he thought he was safe. I mean, I guess that Yabi thought he was safe the same. And Copenhagen Flames with 3 players alive at the turn of that round. And that 1 M4 will at least be in the hands of Dreamer, it seems like, for this round. A Mag 7 and a Scout out. Now, Bubble likes his Mag 7s. We talked about that yesterday. But this on paper shouldn't be a buy that Copenhagen Flames lose to.
No, it shouldn't be. Bubble with that Swag 7 playing as up close and personal as possible. Getting into that hut control, getting a teammate of Ships close to the doors. They're playing very aggressive on the top side.
Dreamer's ready to receive them coming out of Squeaky Door. Will spot 2 players. Spray comes up to damage. No kills found. Ships and Bubble do get away with the kills though. 3 on the trot. Hooksy forced to trade it back, and Bubble has an AK now in his hands. A 3v2 overall here for the SKADE side. As Nico Odos reveals position, reveals information. Will try and hunt for a trade back, but can't see anything. The CTs have gone back passive. Rainwaker also creeping up close to the backstab as well here in the trophy room.
They're coming to him.
They're going to go ramp. Oh, they're going to go ramp here. Rainwaker is so set up to win this round. It depends if they check the corner. Both players creep in. Headshot, 1 kill. Not quite a second. Nico Odos charges down into the B sites.
This Scout needs to try and get a tag off. That's so much more damage. Nico Odos on 28 points of health. He's wanting to try and win that fight. Take it on to Denny and just back it off. Just not even committing.
Must be aware now that there's players down in the B site. He'll go back up into lobby. Play the slow kind of game. 30 seconds. Denny coming in from Squeaky Door. Not checked entirely. Nico Odos thought he might be in hut, but no. A 6-all scoreline, and the buy that the Copenhagen Flames shouldn't have lost to is the buy that they lose to.
When I think about what SKADE offer up in their playstyle and what maybe some of the other teams are capable of in the rest of the bracket, I think whenever they've got a minimal buy, they almost get the most out of it, whether it be a half buy, an eco, a force. Just when you're on the lighter weaponry, out of all the other teams, they're probably the best there.
3 tactical timeouts taken by Copenhagen Flames in this half. Put everything into their T side, it seems. Not going to pay for that defensive side, and the second half could go well for them. If they can get a decent scoreline again, then that could be enough. The concern is well, SKADE can shut it down from here. Of course, rounds like that where you could have had the 7th could make the difference between winning and losing for Copenhagen Flames. Guns out for both sides, at least they can reinvest.
Something to keep in mind too is Ships has already 3 kills more that he's found in this map than he did entirely in the last, and we're only going into round 13.
Into compound here for the SKADE side. Bubble gets picked up first by Yabi on the quick Squeaky Door face. Again, down through the vent dive and into decon door. We'll try to open up the decon door. Is Roy caught towards outside instead by Denny Slaw. So trades are available for SKADE. Follow up from Rainwaker's also there. Nico Odos with the AWP has got to respond, and indeed he does.
And the play down towards lower has got to be the one. Denny can't really overpeak because he knows the AWP's here towards ramp. Try and get those rotates down to the lower bomb side, but no one's here just yet by the CTs.
Niko's considering the backdrop as well. He might have caught himself in a bit of an awkward angle, but misses that first shot to Denny. Out towards Hell now, maintains the advantage for SKADE. The bomb will get planted, and Hooksy will open up double doors, close it, and focus on the secret entrance. But a player is inbound from ramp. They're still considering the idea of the vent rotate. Yeah, but he's now got to turn his attention towards the next two CTs up here. Dreamer, kill on Hooksy. Both players making their way in. Now Yabby has all the info to play with. Info on the one man in from ramp, info on the two players in from secret. Bomb has been planted again of a Toxic. Could be a chance for another clutch. Opens up the doorway. Spray through comes better for Dreamer. And that'll be a lead game for SKADE.
Just working with the tracers in that one. As soon as that smoke goes down, you can see it through the doors, just spamming through, getting onto that bomb. Copenhagen Flames just not taking enough initiative for me in that post-plant. 2v3, no one's looking for fights. You've got Yabby playing passive, waiting to cut the rotate off from the vent. You've also got Hooksy out towards double doors, and they're not playing together on that one. And it just means that when you're down by one already, if you don't have the time available and you're not taking fights, you're just going to get rolled over. As soon as you smoke that bomb, there's nothing that Yabby can really do. And for Copenhagen Flames, they've been reset. They can't even buy in round 14.
Yeah, half-bought pistols, the deco inbound. Looking for the buyback for round 15 at least to try to close out the half on a higher note. An 8-7 can still be workable here for the Danes. Again, we talk about the T-side halves and how it's important to get a decent start if you're on your own map pick. Much like how SKADE did over on Ancient, Copenhagen Flames could do the exact same here.
Yeah, SKADE can struggle on the T side, so giving themselves the extra push towards the end here in the first half is going to be vital. And knowing even the fact that last round Ships was AWPing over Denny, so starting to get some hybrid ability between the two.
Blind sprays behind the smokes, this time towards the mini cross. It's Bubble that opens things up on Hooksy. Winning out that opening fight, as you would expect. Again, rifle v pistol, and the pistol comes up worse for wear for it. They have extended out towards Garage, and they'll try and flank in against the likes of Ships and Denny. Both players behind harder cover, and the Flames can't see them yet.
Without any utility, the only thing you can do to bait the AWPer is just jiggle. Just try and run boost, maybe. Overall, though, if you're trying to split to get in towards this mini position when Denny's here, you're going to have a tough time.
Well, just watching. 30 seconds remain. Sprays through that M4. Oh, but then he's still watching. Spots one. And loses the fight to the Deagle. Okay, 4 versus 4. Roy can't make it a double, though. Yabby can do so. Instead of the 3 versus 3 scenario is engaged. Ooh. And Ziphon rounds the corner against Bubble at close vent. Ships struggling to deal with the T-side players. They're running out of time, though. Yabby low HP. Ziphon now center of the site. USP can dish out the damage, and Ships can make his quadra happen in the end. As SKADE hold down the side. They got a bit dicey at times, though.
Yeah, that really did. Those were some banging shots coming through from the Deagles of Copenhagen Flames. Roy outside onto the AWPer, the close vent position too from Ziphon, and for a moment, it feels as if there's really a lot of damage being found by these upgraded pistols, just not being able to get that bomb on the bomb site. And even for Ships, notice how quickly he actually started to charge through from heaven. Not even give the respect of allowing that bomb plant to go through. Just get that USP out, finish off the job, add more kills to the tally for him.
Last round of the half, Copenhagen Flames again looking towards those guns out. Smokes up, and Yabby going to press forward ahead of the squeaky door, ahead of the smoke as well, out in the main position. Dreamer and Bubble get the kills anyway, alongside Dreamer doubling up on Ziphon. And yes, it all falls apart one more time. 2 left for Copenhagen Flames. It looks like SKADE will maintain a 9-6 half on their CT half. Not terrible for the Copenhagen Flames. The same could also be said for them. Again, they're looking towards some decency in the T side. Not a victory per se, because as you mentioned, SKADE can struggle in the second half. This is Copenhagen Flames' time to strike.
Bulgarians put themselves in a great position, though, because even though I keep in mind it's only a 9-6 half, just think about the pistol starts. SKADE have won every single pistol and have elevated with that. When you're already up 9-6, if you're able to get a T-side start of a pistol, the opening rifle round, you can start to spiral your way forward. And Nuke keeps coming up, at least with some of the rivalries with Bubble in this Copenhagen Flames side. Think back to the RMR. We ended up seeing a 19-16 win for Copenhagen Flames on Nuke against Fiend. Think back to the grand final of the last Invitational. It was a 16-8 win coming through from Fiend, and we even saw Dreamer dropping like 30 in the map, and for him, it hasn't even felt like he's had to do a massive amount here in the first half.
No, it's been spread out. Still up there with 12 frags. Denny's the leader in the leader of the pack at 18 himself. 17 and the player right behind him. So in general, just that three-man spread is what's doing the damage for the SKADE side. The Copenhagen Flames on their CT half now, their chance to dish out the damage. Roy on the defensive, getting that opening duel. Zifon will get traded by Denny, and Ships follow suit with the Raid Boss P250. A 2-for-1, the SKADE still managed to win out here. They do lose Denny in a 3-on-3, but now the A side has an angle to work with. The concern will be Yabby, and his Julie's top of hut. Will Dreamer check this? Don't think he will. He will now, but he'll lose his life for it.
A great reposition coming through from Yabby, just with a step down to give himself the angle. Rainwaker needs to find these entries towards the top site and working with Ships.
Can't quite land the headshot on Nico. Stereo drops down to the site itself. Their focus is going to be on the A defensive here, where SKADE start to rotate slowly and quietly towards B ramp.
Hooksy's pushing outside, so they're going to gather it pretty quickly that, okay, it doesn't seem like a top site play. There's nothing outside. The only other avenue of approach is down at ramp into the lower bomb site. Nico Erdos can be quick on rotating the vents.
Open up those windows. Bomb plant will secure the extra cash bonus here for SKADE. Rainwaker. Set towards double doors as Ships watches P250 in hand. Will fall back into dark. Up for a quadra for him in this round if he can hold down the clutch himself. Rainwaker dishing out some damage. Unable to get the kills for it, so it's all left to Ships to make this quadra clutch happen in the 1 versus 3. Not known towards dark. They might start to get an inkling soon though. Hooksy peeking in. Tapped up. Good kill. Flashbang over there. Got to get to the diffuser. Yabby. Julie's covering it off. Oh, he gets a headshot on the second man. Low HP against the last. But Yabby holds down the round itself and should have just about enough time, I think.
Yeah,
close
should
to
be
10
able
seconds.
to get this. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. This should be okay here for the Copen. No, they didn't get it! They didn't get it! Oh my god! That's disastrous. SKADE just stolen the round.
I can't believe he's just won a 1v3 on red HP. He had absolutely nothing to work with there at all from that dark position. Just toying with them. No kit in play. Yabby gets back onto the bomb. It was down to a couple more ticks, and maybe that's payback, Jay. Do you remember when Yabby won that last clutch in the first half where it came down to ticks? It comes to ticks again.
This time against his favor, though. 10 to the board of SKADE. Pistol stolen thanks to Ships' efforts. That Raid Boss working out well. Tactical taken by the SKADE side. Because you got a temporary expectation from here. Focus on winning the conversion round as well.
And that's a gift. Someone like Bubble's going to look at that and say, okay, probably shouldn't have won that round. Let's step it up. Let's utilize it and not just throw it away. Copenhagen Flames 0 for 4 in pistols, 0 for 3 in the second round. And the main reason for that is obviously they haven't been forcing. There hasn't been many situations where they've actually been buying after losing pistol. They normally just hard eco, but I guess because they're down 10-6 and know that with so many players falling in that last round, no, let's give ourselves the confidence to actually go for the force invest.
Scouts and FAMASs in. Copenhagen Flames have often taken these ecos, but this time around the Eagle set for Zifon up close and personal, but can only land a couple of small tags onto Denny. The 5-7 of Hooksy will tag in the 29. The teams will charge their way down to the B site, and Yabby set here against Denny. Slaw gets away with that one kill. Dreamer there with a responsive. Roy and Co on rotates back into the B site. Will try their hand at the retake, but with Hooksy dropping, it's a 2 versus 4.
I was surprised they didn't even throw in the towel at the 3v4. You've got players so out of position, 2 in outside, lack of util, and no advantages. Even just risking that is not worth it at all. Hold your players, bring it into the next round, use some of those slight upgrades. This is looking scary. This is really pinning up for a 2-0 now for SKADE.
There's a conversion round. Weaken weapons for the Copenhagen Flames. With an eco inbound for round 18, this should on paper be 12-6. And the real task, the real chance for them will be when the guns come out, when the rifles are brought down by the Flames. Things will really start to pick up the pace here for the Danes.
Yeah, just knowing that Ships has doubled his kills from the first map here in the second, he's been a pivotal figure to really elevate this team going into Nuke. And even having a look at some of the numbers, I mean, we saw some good impact rounds for Zifon over in that first map. 3 kills and 15 deaths when you're playing in a semi-final on your map pick, 6-11 down. It's just not good enough. He's got to step it up. And some of the other players too. The kill distribution, the highest frag is on 12 for Copenhagen Flames.
Again, it just feels like it's not enough here. There's some brilliant moments from this Flames side, but it's not quite good enough to get them past the round themselves and past the finish line in terms of the maps. USP's pulled out, and the pistol of Roy the Deagle found. Ships caught with U2 in hand, so they maintain a 2 versus 2 scenario. And up in the rafters, Hooksy can strike. Rainwaker's dropped. It's now to 1. Denny on 10 points of HP as well. Hooksy can still close us out with 1 good USP shot, and that's exactly what he does. Contrary to everything we were just saying, Copenhagen Flames find the eco steal.
It is an upper stack on an eco, and SKADE just run straight into it. So there is that in mind, but that's a steal. When you've got an eco round like that without many upgrades, you're kicking yourself if you're Bubble, just thinking, geez, how have we lost that one? So many players peaking, main, top, heart, heaven, just every CT looking to crossfire over one another, and SKADE know better than that. That's a round that they should not be losing to.
And the third tactical is called in by SKADE here. Is this a sign of things to come? Is there more for the CT side, or is there more for the T side to come through? That's the big question here. Guns will come back in. The buy should be secured for the most part. Again, Deagle for Denny being a slight limiting factor for the SKADE camp. But other than that, it's rifle v rifle.
Yeah, SKADE will be disappointed now if they're not able to convert in round 19, and actually if that eco just throws everything off kilter. And that first smoke to cross out towards the T-red position, not really followed by a massive amount of util just yet. You've got to imagine for SKADE, gaining this outside control is going to be important. Ships just running into Secret. They've got Rainwaker into the vents somehow too.
As soon as there was a vent dive that came through from him, unaccounted for by Copenhagen Flames. Roy gets ships and opens things up. The Flames, the incendiaries all come back here. Then he's going to open up double doors and find the quick drive-by on the Ziphon. Roy can double up though, maintain his 2K. Looking for the triple against Dreamer with the bomb on his back as well, but Dreamer wins that fight despite taking a dink back. 3v3 HP advantage for Copenhagen Flames, and Bubble is on the backstab here. He's looking to try and maintain map control, but he can't see the CTs just yet.
They've got two options here. They either slow it down at lower, bring that bomb back towards the upper bomb side, and get Bubble in heaven. This is really well read, but they've still got to deal with Yabby.
Smoke on towards upper, Yabby unknown towards open vent. Now Bubble's seen him. Here come his teammates. Spray comes through for Dreamer. Lands it in the midst of the smoke. Now Hooksy on the counter back up to Bubble's position. Will lean in. Look for the headshot. The spray does not come up. And it's Nico Otis with the AWP in his hand in a 1v3 clutch. And just like that, Copenhagen Flames will find the steal. SKADE will steal it right back.
Imagine being Roy. You get 2 kills at lower, double doors and observation, and nobody else does. Not a single teammate is able to find any more than that. Another brilliant call there for Bubble to realize, I'm not seeing anything ramp, let's bring that bomb upper. He puts that smoke down to the squeak door entrance. Yabby with the jiggle gets spotted, and then Dreamer, even on low HP coming up for the vents, combines with Bubble to get that frag. And as soon as you open up upper, you know that round is done from that point onwards.
And Roy's been so fantastic here. Like, he has just been... Like, not only in today, but also in the series against Dignitas as well earlier on in the bracket. Like, he was a standout player in that particular matchup, and he might not be top fragger. He's tied up on top fragger for his teammates as well. The problem is everything else around him here.
Hey, think back to that game against Dig. 54 kills, 30 deaths, positive 24 KD difference, 111 ADR, 1.68 rating. What a performance we saw from him in the quarterfinals. And now in the semis, we're still getting it from him, but not the team overall. 12 on the board from SKADE, answering back after losing the eco.
We found one on the CT side thus far here. Copenhagen Flames need to turn it around soon, else they'll be knocked out in the semis. And SKADE will take another grand final placing here in the Elisa Invitational. The Bulgarian dominance reigns supreme, it seems, in this tournament. We'll come up to the next 4 rounds if they can get it. And that will be lights out for Copenhagen Flames in this map, in this series, in the playoffs themselves. Roy jump facing, looking for contact. Put a nade up to position. That's a lot of damage.
Needs help from the rotations, and even out towards ramp, it's just not coming in quicker. They're going to rush this.
Spray comes up good for the first frag. The AUG of Ziphon could line up a couple of players, doing so much damage to Dreamer and Ships. Eventually gets Dreamer on his second face, and now Yabby starts closing in the wraparound backstab. In from vents, looking in from Decon. We'll hear that bomb going down to the back of the site. Where does he go with his bubble caught off? 2 left standing. Ships should be known here, and Yabby wins that second fight with Rainwaker with his backstab being accounted for by Nico Odos. Missed Orb shot, and now the AUG of Xiphon will rotate back, and Nico Odos gets picked up. Xiphon will trade it, and it will be Copenhagen Flames to lock down the 8th.
Yeah, Rainwaker's done nothing wrong there. He's the late lurk to make it so uneasy for the ramp players on rotation if the guys at lower can survive. And while they trade out Roy with only giving him a 1-for-1, it's Xiphon they can't really deal with. He's playing out there from the left-hand side of ramp. A lot of players are struggling. Yabby's coming through from that single door decontamination area with 2 picks. That's the round finished up. Just make sure that Rainwaker doesn't do any more exit damage from there on out. Another buy can come through from SKADE, but it's not that pretty. You've got a Galil into the mix, you've got a Tech 9 for Rainwaker, and you're light on utility. This is working with the scraps, really.
3 AKs in this Force Invest kind of round. The smoke's missing out against the squeaky door early for SKADE. That's already a missed piece of utility. That should have gone through the door, but the nade didn't pop quick enough, so it bounces back and suppresses Squeaky. There's no entryway for the Bulgarians. They have to go passive from here.
Well, they were going to vent drop with that. You can just see that Ships was trying to get down to those vents immediately. They've done it before onto Rainwaker, but you're right, with the missed util, you've got to cancel. As soon as you know that that smoke doesn't land, do not go through it, because you are just going to get absolutely wrecked. So cancel, change the mid-round, go for the smokes towards outside.
The red box cross smokes with a big gap in them. Unfortunately, they don't look like they're going to cross with the majority of their forces towards Secret. SKADE want to rotate back indoors. Ships just lurks on the outside control.
Yeah, not quite commed correctly on what the smoke lineup was going to be. Contact play dry towards upper could be the idea. Now the molly going out to Squeak Door means Dreamer's going to have to cancel, at least for a while. Hooksy here from main might be dealt with by Ships with a rat play into A.
Walks forward with 40 seconds to the clock. Ships just pressing in Hooksy's AK. Ready and raring to receive. The flashes go over, the Molotovs go down towards closed vent. There's Hooksy with the kill. Yabby standing by, needs to get the kill on Rainwaker and will be able to do so with the AWP misfiring. Bubble drops into vents and somehow comes up with a kill alongside Dreamer to a 3 versus 3. Xiphon on B site and Bubble almost crosses but doesn't quite make it. And with that, it's Dreamer in a 1 versus 3 now.
Just no time. Can't get to the bomb. Just hold on to the Glil, bring it into the next round. That whole entire round looked like it was going to be a top site play. They've got a smoke out from Squeak Door to get the rat play from Ships to connect onto Hooksy. He doesn't win that fight. And then it gets stagnant because the Squeaky Door players don't have the room to work with to clear out main entirely, to then start putting pressure onto upper. They think about dropping the bomb into the vents from Bubble. Again, it's Xiphon playing there from ramp. He might have been quiet in the first half, but when we think about the impact kills he's had in the second, he's won them 2 rounds in a row.
Still only on single-digit frags, but you're right about that. That could be the start of the turning point for him in this matchup. Especially as the 4th and final tactical pause gets called in by SKADE. I think Copenhagen Flames have one in their back pocket they can utilize. That's got to come out for the rainiest of rainy days, though. The buy probably shouldn't be too massive here for SKADE. They will force it. That Galil will be the only thing for Dreamer.
Now, can it be a special Bulgarian force that we've seen from them previously? For Copenhagen Flames, I mean, we could say it for both teams. The economy in the second half has just been wrecked for both. No one's been able to save money. No one's been able to drive themselves a good economy. Even think about Copenhagen Flames winning 3 out of the past 4 rounds, 2 in a row. And you've got guys like Yabby and Hooksy, less than $300 in the bank. You've got Roy, $1,500, Xiphon, $1,200, Nick Erdos on $3,000. He's the only one that's actually got healthy money.
The economy game. Be a big game to play here in these later few stages of the matchup. Of course, we're coming to the closing moments of nuke, rather. Opening outside for Nico Odos, watching the red box crossing, the smoke's coming down. These will just walk their way forward. 3 players make their way downstairs early. A 4th man also ahead of the curb. Ships caught off, catches Yabby with a decent tag. The fast play in from SKADE. Xiphon going to try and protect his teammates. Nico Odos also there to the backside. 2 kills found, 1 trade back for Dreamer. Xiphon trying to hold on for as long as he can, but can't quite maintain his position alongside Hooksy at the backstab, dropping that bomb in decon. Rainwaker in a 1v3. Looked promising from SKADE, but they couldn't capitalize.
Just so quick on those rotations. Roy in from the vents, doesn't get caught off. Rainmaker gonna drop to the fight. You just see Hooksy flying through, down in the vent towards helping out from decontamination. Just making sure that Dreamer doesn't make anything possible of that round, that he ends up getting a double or a triple or a quadra and really turning it around completely. So the force buy with pace was fairly good from SKADE to get down to that lower bomb site, but not dealing with those anchor players quick enough means that they're gonna have to be forced back onto an eco. No bomb plant in that last round means that there can't be many upgrades at all.
The Eagles P250s and a Glock out. Hard eco back from SKADE now. This is the comeback point for Copenhagen Flames, but we were here before on Ancient. 12-10, SKADE were up. Copenhagen Flames found equalizations on the next like 4 rounds or so, but SKADE pulled away. And ultimately broke down the CT economy basis, which is also exposed and set for reset on the Copenhagen Flames side. So it's got to be confidence from here on out for me.
And it pins to me like it's going to be one round that makes the difference. We're getting into very similar territory of what happened on Ancient, where you have that high impact round of that force buy that comes through successfully for SKADE. Will it be for Copenhagen Flames? Will it be for SKADE? Even on this eco, a top site play, Ship's trying to fake that there's util coming through the upper bomb site, and actually a missed smoke comes through towards Squeaky.
That could favor Hooksy though. If you can see the foot of Rainwaker, you can see him trying to find a better angle for it. Unable to see anything though. Xiphon now set towards ramp, ready to receive the entire T-side force. Bubble caught, as is Ships, as is Dreamer. Denny with one decent trade back. Nico Odos, leg shot out towards the hell position, will catch Denny for a bit more damage. Eagle can't quite connect the frag against him. Rainwaker falls to the hands of Roy instead. Denny just left in a 1 versus 4. Does escape with another good frag to his name, 2 overall. A little bit of damage being done to Copenhagen Flames, but nothing major. Nothing that should win in the round here with such low HP in this clutch. Praying for a miracle, and miracles are coming his way. AWP in hand, 13 seconds. Watching the backstab, thinking he might go towards the A site, but time's too far ticked. They've accounted for it here. Let's see, it's the most ridiculous shot onto Yabi. It's not going to happen. Time's too far gone. Yeah, nah, just save the AWP. Get away with an exit, so a quadra in this round. It's pretty expensive. That keeps the economical hurt up.
Am I just like not getting deja vu again from Ancient, where there's like a hero war and there's just Glocks and it's 4 kills on the Nico? Look at this round. Like, there's hardly any investment. It's so light. There's no armor. There's no util. There's a couple of upgraded pistols. Denny stays alive with a big green, does so much economical damage, and now look at the money in the reserve for Copenhagen Flames. There's none of it.
When you say hero AWP, but remember, they didn't even have the AWP board down. They picked it up off Nico Odo, so it's a free AWP for them. With the damage, not quite a bomb plant this time. The economy in an even worse position here for Copenhagen Flames. No money for Xiphon, $50 for Yabi, $100 for Yori. Like, that's a yikes. Nico Odos is waiting for more yikes to come his way. He needs this AWP to connect his shots. The flashbang that comes in as Roy will catch Ships first and foremost. Frag found the aggressive angles, the AWP firing back. Yabi's going to protect himself as Roy comes up with another double once again against the T-side line. This is much better for Copenhagen Flames. The confidence we've been looking for coming out in this round as the York connects another good shot to Bubble. Dreamer with a responsive trying to flank in against Nico Odos, but he lets him go no further. Drop that bomb at red box and leave Rainwaker again to clutch.
Yeah, very well executed towards that outside play. Just aggressing with the protocol. Roy playing out towards the Africa position. He's able to find a couple. And then Nico Odos, pressure start to build, playing from the back of T-Red. Close range with the AWP, really coming through. Ships, the first man on the entry, not clearing out that position all the way. And then, of course, Nico Odos, good flick coming through onto Dreamer, allowing to catch Bubble towards the top of Silo. And 12-12, this feels like the momentum shift. Copenhagen Flames, all positives are to them now.
Half buy in for SKADE. Copenhagen Flames have suffered to this in the past. I mean, just look at that previous round with the Glocks. Case in point right there. SKADE could still steal this. Don't count them out. Set towards a passive set of defaults though. Careful placement here from the T side. Utility down for the Flames to suppress.
Yeah, Hooksy and Yabi, the 2 AKs defending upper. Denny with that molly could go down towards the top of Heart, out to default. Hooksy surely going to get flashed off this angle.
The set piece exit, the Molotov misses out. Yabi will get overwhelmed by the pistol game. Hooks is going to get forced away. Nico Odos in heaven will strike back at a 4 versus 4. And Hooksy wrapping in as Roy will catch off ships over at Squeaky. The remaining T-side players start to force rotates back in towards Ram. Ziffon gets away with a 1-for-1 and a 3v2 overall for the Flames. Ort misses the first and the second. They dive down into the B side. There is a defensive element there here in Roy in the backside itself. We'll hear the footsteps incoming, get spotted out by one player, and Denny lands to a 2 versus 2. Bomb will go down safely for Old Toxic. The decon door opens up, and Nico Otis a little bit late to the party. Lands on Dreamer after the bomb gets planted, and now it's Denny again to clutch this in a 1v2. He did well with the Glock in the previous, now with the Deagle in his hand. Spots Hooksy, but only lands the tag, not the kill, and not the round.
It's a very good effort, and knowing the investment that came through, 3 kills in a bomb plant, you drop one of those AKs, so they've only got 1 to work with. Going into round 26, they can be happy with that. The Deagle's getting some impact frags on the movement down to that lower bomb site, making it difficult for Roy. The Copenhagen Flames were still going to win out that round, though. You could see the way of how quick those rotations were and how central it was to focusing down on putting pressure onto Denny. 13-12. Difference only 1. You can feel the nerves really kicking in towards the late stage here, Anu.
Yeah, advantage now for Copenhagen Flames, a lead they've been longing for such a long time. Rushing in for the AKs once again. SKADE want to try and take us back to equalization. They still want this 2-0. They still want to take this series effective and efficiently and as quickly as possible here. Dive down into Secret, coming in for the T sideline. They've already got Rainwaker again set into the events position. He went for the dive earlier. Roy in the exact same position that he got that 2K upon. If he can hold his own, it will all come up to his teammates to hold the rest.
It's been almost cancelled now with the counter utility that Copenhagen Flames are bringing to this lower bomb side. They know that Roy likes playing out to the double doors and observation window, and Ziffon's going to be quick on rotation. SKADE have got to make a decision whether they double pump this or start rotating back to upper.
Lovely nade on Bubble to 37 HP. It's weakening the T-side element. They'll leave the observation window entirely, though. That might be a bit of a concern. They'll play from passive angles at this crossfire. Watching out for decon. Ziffon playing double duty. Try and look for the wall bangs, try and catch these players off. Roy with a swing, but Denny and Dreamer overwhelmed. 2-for-1 trade. B site is gained.
Oh, this is promising. Hooksy's going to try and make a play, get aggressive of it. There's another player close by him, but it's actually burning in the flames. That's Bubble.
Hand to 20, but a 3 versus 3 as the bomb goes down, and Yabi sees Denny Slaw, capitalizing upon that kill, knowing the Bubble's low, and Dreamer on this clutch scenario. 23 kills, not quite top fragging this time, but he could still have the impact. He doesn't in the end. It's 3 for Yabi as he gets his own highlight round, and it will be 14 for Copenhagen Flames now. 2 to the lead of the Danes.
And just missed comms there to come through from SKADE. The fact that Denny is looking away out from the double doors, I mean, he gets some bloody good entries onto the bomb side. Hooksy makes the play forward. No one's there for the trade. And then how does this happen? Yappy down for the vents, catching off Denny. No one looking out for that rotate in from the vent position. And SKADE had all the advantages in the 4v3. Did not get another pick after that. Copenhagen Flames with a brilliant retake.
And now the confidence amounts. Now it builds up for the Danes. Double op setup in for Nico Odos and Ziffon. Look at Nico Odos' confidence here, just pressing forward. And leaning towards that lobby position, try and grab an opening frag against the T-side line. It's Hooks that gets tagged up early here. Lean around. Frag not found. Denny gets even more damage. Nico Odos double dipping here. Could line up a couple, but no. A frag for Dreamer kicks things off for SKADE.
That just pre-fires that, already spamming as he starts moving around the corner. The AWP, the second AWP down there into the ramp position, at least follows up, but now they can slow it down and they can even gain some hell control, something they haven't really been able to do in the past.
He pops up in that window as well. Trying to indicate that he's fallen back. Look at Yabi aggressing. Oh, here's Ziffon with a kill back to Denny, and Rainwaker deals with the aggressive player up on the upper site. Hooksy on the site itself will get 1-for-1 of the trade, and now the A site's completely open, so the bomb can go down, be a 2v2 retake for the Flames.
Oh, they've got to go for this, surely. Got that backstab out from lobby, and Ships is looking onto it. That's the AWPer. Now Roy's got to make a tough decision.
1v2 clutch, trying to get 15 up for Copenhagen Flames. The money's not there for him. It's there for some of his teammates, though. Is one rifle going to make the difference? It's walking in slowly. Kit No smoke. Incendiary's down instead. That could be the right call here, trying to find this bomb's position. Check out the backside as well. 3 seconds to the defuse. Taps it once, trying to force ships out in the open here towards Squeaky Door. Takes that fight, wins it. 5 HP though, and way too far ticked on timer. He's backing off to save the weapon in the end. Might get an nade back on Dreamer here to do some damage. Maybe catch him in the bomb blast, but no, even he's fallen away. 13 to the board of SKADE. They're back in the game.
Dreamer with some important trades. That's that opening man advantage. And then, of course, this kill that comes through onto Hooksy. Ships with the backstab dealing with the AWPer. This was very well played in the 2v1. They know if they push through the molly together, they might take so much damage and get lined up that they just lose the round completely. So allow Ships to aggress forward and just see, is he on the bomb? Fake him out, draw the fight away, and then with that in play, there's just no time for Roy to work with. A 13th coming through from SKADE. The only downside to that round is, of course, not many players staying alive.
And there's that 4th and final tactical pause that Copenhagen Flames had stored in their back pockets. One of the most important rounds we're going to have in this series for their survival. They need to get this. The economy is still not built up for the CT side. They're forced invested into this round. If they lose it, it will be eco for what could be 15-14 for SKADE. A force buy that could lead to 16-14 if they don't win it. Options will be limited for Copenhagen Flames going forward. They have to win this round.
AWP for Nico Erdos expecting a vent drop, something quickly to come out from the top side play, but that's not the opportunity at all that SKADE decide to go for. They've gone for a lurk outside. Ships is by himself. He doesn't have any support.
Work out the outside control, the fire coming in through the smokes. Attempting to catch this player. But not quite aware is here. No info gained by the Flames just yet.
Indicates it's going to be a lower take to ramp with the late lurk that Ships can try and pull some attention over from either Roy or from Xiphon. Now the execution's coming through from ramp, and Xiphon's already done damage.
Didn't take any to return though, so SKADE on the back foot early. Nico Erdos driven away from the held position. Xiphon waiting in here at the dark and emo position. But nothing seen. SKADE stall the hit.
Oh, they're starting to mind game this now. They've still got Rainwaker to play in from lobby, and the CT's are going to start aggressing the ramp.
Well, this could be risky. It could catch 2-for-1s, and it's Denny instead with the opening kill alongside Dreamer. Getting Roy next to 5v3. The B site has fallen. Surely Copenhagen Flames save from here, but Hooksy drops instead. Out of Squeaky, Rainwaker can strike and make it a hell of a rainy day for the Copenhagen Flames.
Oh my goodness. The way they just do nothing. They make the mistake come to their opposition, and Yabby falls too. The money is absolutely ruined here for Copenhagen Flames. They're not on double eco, but they can't get a buy into the next round, and they're going to put down the hunt. They really want to try and drop this AWP. They've even got the idea of where he is.
Seen him. Now Ships is the info confirmed. Nico Erdos. Utility thrown his way, at least gets that one. Frag is going to start burning though. 2 players to face him, and Dreamer's going to burn him from beyond the grave. Oh, disaster for Copenhagen Flames. This has got to be an eco. It's got to be a hard eco. Get the rifles out and play for OT, you know?
Yeah, you can't buy here. There's no chance. Well, I just love the way that they just stall. They make the CTs just aggress forward. They don't know what the information's like, what it's really going to be the play. Is it up or is it lower? It's ramp. We haven't heard anything. And going into round 29, it's a force by Jay. Oh, they're going for this now.
Oh, all chips on the table now. Copenhagen Flames rush the outside control. Roy just spamming with a CZ, trying to catch someone ahead of the red box entrance. It's Nico Erdos that falls first and foremost. 1 pistol taken out. Roy's still around here, and he gets caught by Denny Slaw on 4 HP. It's a 5v3 for SKADE.
This guy's a maniac with the AK. 31 frags now for Denny. So much impact he's found. Yabby's been able to find a gap, though. Get through that squeak door entrance. He needs a multi-frag, though. They're down in a 3v5.
The only way he gets is if he holds this particular corner here at Squeaky Corridor and just catches them without them checking their angles. They'll start to peek it. Xiphon's going to try to draw attention. If he gets here, then they might make that mistake. Ships caught off. They check corner. SMG only gets 1. Xiphon gets none. And Hooksy stands alone in the 1 versus 4. Getting bubbled at least, but Rainwaker turns it away and makes it 15-14 for SKADE. And you can see what that force buy does to Copenhagen Flames. There is no full buy for them. They have to force it up.
I can't believe they forced in the last round. When you think about what they're working with, and the outside aggression just got cancelled immediately. 2 kills in for Denny within the first 20 seconds of the round, gives them the 5v3, and even the trading. SKADE didn't panic taking that lobby control back.
It works so confidently. And what could have been an M4 buy for Copenhagen Flames has turned into SMGs and a FAMAS. +1 Deagle for Nico Odos. They need a miracle to get this round together, and SKADE could be crashing them out of the playoffs here. Round 30. Overtime or bust for the Flames. SKADE 1 away from taking their spot in the grand finals.
There could be an aggressive play in from Squeakdoor, even to Ramp. Xiphon's been boosted up in the corner. I don't think we've ever seen a player here in this map so far.
Watching and waiting. Bubble leans forward, Xiphon. Seeing the Molotovs being thrown back, another molly into hold position. Diving away, they caught him, they read it. Kill found for Bubble, and they dive straight into that B site, down from Ramp. SMG of one player has rotated up. It's Hooksy in at the observation window, caught by Bubble with a headshot, and it's all coming undone for Copenhagen Flames. Their own map pick. Fallen at the last hurdle. They only needed 2 rounds. They just couldn't get it done.
Oh, this is so awkward, because even Rainwaker's now still on that top side play. He's looking to try and cut the rotates off. And for Copenhagen Flames, someone needs to step up, but it's not even Roy. Out towards that ramp position, he gets caught off. Yami's now trying to play from the double doors. You got Dreamer on the other side. Rainwaker and him work together. Bubble ends up with a triple. 16-14, another victory for SKADE. This is 3 grand finals in 4 invitationals. What a result for the Bulgarians.
And the second highest ranked team in the tournament remaining somehow fall apart in this one. We thought about the idea that it could have been a 2-0 for either side. I hope that Copenhagen Flames could have taken us to a third map after that ancient loss, but even their own map pick just wasn't good enough to egg.
No, not at all. And we saw some fantastic calls from Bubble across this map in the first half and in the second, and Chips too. What a turnaround performance from map 1 to map 2.
Absolutely. SKADE deserve all the plaudits in the world. Copenhagen Flames is back to the drawing board and take another online loss and lose out in another A-tier tournament. And just back to the desk to break it all down and see what we've got coming up for our grand final team of SKADE.
And you just gotta wonder, how do they keep pulling it off time after time after time again? Just wow.
Yeah. No.
I don't know. I feel like Jesse from Breaking Bad. How do they keep getting away with this?
Yeah, exactly. Like this was definitely a map for Copenhagen Flames to show that we're in this one. We're gonna take confidence in it. It looked good from the start.
Well, not from the very get-go. I mean, it was a 5-1 scoreline for SKADE, and I was a little worried for Flames, but then they started getting it back on the T side and built them a half for themselves that gave them the buffer to play the CT side. But yeah, no, I mean, a lot of weird situations in that game. I don't typically like to harp on individual players, but Nikodos was not having a great time here, especially in like certain pivotal situations. I mean, the scoreline. He still managed to get quite a few kills, but there were a handful of pivotal situations that had he landed a shot or two, that could have just changed the round completely. And considering the scoreline, that could have actually changed the series.
It was a close one, yeah. SKADE, all in all, managed to look like the more experienced team, which is a little bit weird to say, but they do have some experienced players, some veteran players in the lineup too. And again, losing both pistols, Copenhagen Flames couldn't pull off any pistol wins in this best-of-3 series. That didn't help, and it felt like they got things going to the tail end of all of these halves. But it was always a little too late. And then a few key rounds again. There was that one ramp push that we're gonna take a look at in a while. That really was the sign of things and how they crumbled.
Yeah, I mean, very even kill in terms of kill spread here for Copenhagen Flames. Like, no one is going up and beyond on one another. On the other hand, Dennis Law and Dreamer continuing. Like, if you look at this whole series, you know, Dreamer was definitely the man to watch, at least here for the SKADE side of things. In so many situations, was he the one to kind of put the last nail in the coffin or opening up rounds?
Yeah, definitely. Let's actually take a look at that round 18. It was kind of something that Copenhagen Flames had a positive sign.
Just a 5v5 ramp take. Xiphon has to fall down onto the B site. He gets Roy to help him, but it was just managing to slow things down, freezing the information lanes. SKADE just kept it quiet. Copenhagen Flames got a little bit antsy. What's going on? Let's go take a peek to the ramp. And yeah, the whole squad of SKADE was out there waiting for them. And that was a great call from Bubble. You gotta believe that. That was his call. Let's slow things down. Copenhagen Flames, they feel like they're kind of pressuring things a little bit as they were in this best of three throughout, and a very key round to put things to 14-14 and then managing to win the next two.
Those are kind of the things that we actually talked in the pre-studio about, the new kind of style of play that SKADE's going to have to play with and getting used to like in-game leading and calling and how it shows to the spectator, and this was definitely a perfect round to show it.
I mean, I understand both of the sides of that coin for the CTs as well. I think they made the right call, first of all, to have kind of over-rotated people to the lower bomb side, and then when things do slow down, the CTs feel the urge to go for information play, because if had SKADE actually gone for like Heaven or brought it back to lobby, that would have been very early information game by the CTs. This time round, SKADE actually just managed to or decided to stall, and it played in their favor. That was of course a very, very good call from SKADE.
Well, we do have a winner interview ready, and it's going to be Bubble from SKADE. Well, we have Bubble once again here at the winner interview, and congrats on your win. This is your back-to-back final spot confirmed.
Yeah, thank you.
Different team, though, in this case. Let's talk about your performance today against Copenhagen Flames. How did you feel the team adapted for today's games? Because I think you had a pretty stable performance from start to finish. But what do you think?
Well, in some of situations, we knew exactly what are they going to do, and it was kind of easy for us to read them. But from what I saw when we played as a team, they were very prepared for us. It's good that we won every single pistol.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah, like on every single map, which I think this is the main thing that we won. It doesn't matter that we lost one eco round to nuke, but the pistols were crucial in this game.
Yeah. Could you expand a little bit to the first halves of the games, the pistols and the maybe first gun rounds, because it seemed like every time you started to have things started to go your way. So how much was it of it was preparation?
No, it wasn't preparation. I just wanted, as the T side, if you're talking about, I just wanted to see how are they gonna start. I knew exactly back in this because we faced them many times, and I think we know each other very well. I just wanted to start very slow and just see how are they gonna start, so I can make a mid call.
I just wanted to ask about the veto. Did it go exactly as you guys were expecting it to go?
Not really. I expected them to not remove Inferno because we wanted to pick Inferno versus them.
Yeah.
It was kind of surprise for us, but yeah, the other two maps we expected to play, Nuke and Tower Pass.
Okay.
Everything went according to plan then, I guess. But talking about still the transition of your new team, how is the leadership going on with you and Ships regarding comms? Is it still hectic, or is it more calm and collected?
Nothing changed from our previous talk. As I said, it will take more time for us.
Yeah.
Me and him are calling mid game, mid calls, I mean. But from the start, I'm the one who is doing the right calls early.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, it will take more time for us. It's normal.
Well, you're going to be playing in the grand finals tomorrow, and it's going to be a pretty interesting pair coming up right after. You're going to watch the next game with ENS versus Heat?
We are not going to have time to watch the game because
RMRs?
we have to chill and play RMR,
Yeah, I thought so as well. Well, good luck with your RMRs as well today. Good luck with your RMRs today, and we'll see you tomorrow at least with the grand finals here at the Elisa Invitational.
Thank you, guys.
Still a lot of CSGO for the lads to play today. Let's see how SKADE fares with the RMRs. But at least in Elisa, they seem like they always perform.
Yeah, I was looking at their maps this year. I think they had somewhere around 60 maps played already in 2022.
Still grinding things out.
Yeah, nothing's changed from previous years. These guys, all they do is play.
Yeah, that could be an interesting one. If the open qualifiers, if they make it far, they could play 6 best of ones today, and those could go on pretty late. So that might leave them a little preparation for the final. So let's see how that fares out.
Well, Dennis Law is definitely prepared for this with the Cool Bet MVP decided, I think, unanimously here. Great performance, very impactful kills all over. Clutch plays here and there. I feel like he was outstanding today, but that's kind of what we expect from Dennis Law.
Yeah, really good series from him. Maybe not the flashiest plays. Like, I feel like we didn't talk about him too much on the desk, but he just kind of got his, made things look easy for himself.
We kind of talked about that before as well, that he might start a bit cold, but then he warms up.
I think it could have, like, the MVP for the series could have easily been Dreamer as well, but I think it's fair play. I think if I had to choose and if I could be the one to rule everything here, I would split it between the two, actually. But yeah, he had a good game.
Dreamer was definitely, yeah, we were talking quite a lot about him, especially in that first map, and yesterday especially. Great addition, great plays overall. So it is hard to decide between Dennis Law and Dreamer on this one, but rightfully so. 2 great performances. That also, I mean, speaks volumes about SKADE, that they're definitely ready for the finals tomorrow. But outside of that, we have another series coming up right after this one. It's not going to be too long of a break, so let's take a quick look at our timetable. We have ENCE versus Heat. It is the Finnish organization up against the Belgian one. Let's see which one of these European teams is going to be winning the other one. ENCE, can they finally get into a final since, what was it, the 2020 Spring Invitational? That was quite some time ago, 1.5 years ago, when ENCE was in the finals against Dignitas.
Well, we're about to find out.
And same thing for Heat. Let's see if they can do it. We'll take a tiny break, and we'll start with our pre-studio for the second series and the final semifinals of the day.